What's going on, people? What is going on, man? It is Friday night, so you already know it is Friday Night Madness. I know you're used to seeing me on that side, but we're gonna switch it up today. We got Bushwick Bill on that side.
Mm-hmm.
I am your boy, Six Man KStylzz, aka the fullback. And to my stage right, it is the mad scientist. Bushwick Bill himself, Mad Mike Sports. What's good, homie?
Hey man, it's time. It's time. It's Vader time.
Hold on, you gotta do it right. Dun, 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 dun. Hey man, hey, you know how we always gotta do it, man. Before we always start the show, what do we gotta give Mike? It's
And
the
radio.
roll call. As y'all already know, damn it, I ain't got my H2O, so it's sponsored by nothing tonight. We got Mr. Joseph Thornton, we got Tev Sports and Gaming, we got the homie Noah Tyndale, we got the unknown Jim. Appreciate you joining in. We got Silas Draven, Floyd Donnelly. Hey, we got Todrick Davis, we got Jerry Bowie. Hey, Coach Will's Sports Rant. Hey man, Matthew Boyd, Brian Peoples, we got ATL Leo. We got Andrew G, Dre Jungles, Pat Norris. We got our main man here, Mr. Cookie by Nature, Devontae, Pole DTV, Ezekiel King. And we got Tony Wright. Tony Wright. If I haven't said your name, hey, we acknowledge you as well. We gotta go ahead and get this thing popping tonight, man. Mike, what you got for 'em? How,
Um,
how how we gonna start this off?
I wanted to get a tweet up, but I guess I'm gonna have to read it. But it goes a little something like this. You guys have not already. Um, as a matter of fact, just give me a second. I want to actually, I want people to see it.
Okay, so
So,
why you doing so why you doing that?
yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and extend the real roll call right quick. Um, we got the real, we got old chicken hauler, B tucking foes, we got Yeezy in the building, we got Nathan Floyd, Falcon, Bain 77, Jonta Rozier, Danny Doyle. But I'm wondering, is this gonna be right? Hey, you see the ghost of Mad Mike. He has to do a silent appearance right quick. Um, you see that? How you gonna have Mad Mike up top and Mad Mike at the bottom? But I want to get everybody's opinion on how they feel about what's been going on this last week, as far as what free agency and the news about Calvin Ridley and his bigger gambling problem and all this back and forth between trading Matt Ryan, not trading him, extending him not. So y'all go ahead, y'all put what y'all think on those in the comment section until we get might get us prepared for the tweet that he want us to look at. Um let's see. We got a couple questions here. Todrick Davis here said, would you guys take a flyer on Tariq Cohen or Eddie Goldman for vet depth? Eddie Goldman, yeah. Tariq Cohen, I'm kind of like on a I don't know side because, like you said, he has been hurt, and that was one of the main reasons why they cut him.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what his full health status is as far as the physical side of it. Like I said, it could be his injury could be worse than what we thought. But Eddie Goldman, oh yeah, we need that D line depth as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But we also have to remember we still need those extensions coming up here soon. And I think the
Mm-hmm.
reason why it's been a whole lot of hectic stuff going on, especially when it comes with the fans and how a lot of the media want the Falcons to move, is basically the same story as last year. Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot, um, they're not giving nobody no telltales of what they're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is such a speculation, everybody's panicking.
Mm-hmm.
But we got a $5
$5. Hey man,
super
you
chat.
guys continue to do that.
Yeah. Y'all make sure y'all share, hit the like button, share this stream with a couple people that y'all might know that might not subscribe to us. We definitely would
Mm-hmm.
appreciate that. But Blackheart came with the $5. He said, I hate the Ridley news, but in all things considered, I'm happy. We under the cap. Hell, it's the most production we've had from Ridley in a while.
Wow.
That's so
Damn
fucked up to say that. But I mean, his
right.
name is Blackheart for a reason, man. That was a black-hearted statement.
Yeah, you think?
Exactly. But yeah, I think just the issue with Calvin Ridley is I think it's more so him taking it more lightly than than it need to be. I mean, because it's actually, when you look at the situation as far as the gambling, and like I said, it's serious ramifications, because the reports coming out now that it's more than the 1,500 that he's saying. They got
Oh, so
upwards to it says almost upwards to almost $150,000 worth of bets on parlays.
oh my god.
But the reason, the reason for a lot of people that might not understand why they put the punishment on him like this is because it was written in the CBA agreement that these players get a cut of the profits that the NFL makes from the gambling side, but they can't partake in it. It was part of the new CBA agreement they had. So if a lot of folks don't understand that, or still like, well, is it like I said, he just did what he did, and the ones that are justifying it, that's just like saying your boss told you not to slap the hell out of your employee, but you did it anyway, and now you got fired.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I'm gonna put it better like this. Your mama told you don't slap your brother in front of company, and you slapped the hell out of your brother in company, and your mama whooped that ass for you doing it. This is pretty much kind of the same thing.
It's
Nah,
rules, people.
yeah, yeah, parlay cards. Everybody know that mostly parlay cards are usually side street type shit. I know. I've seen it.
Let me just I wanna I gotta say this. All right. So I might have to cut this up later and make a PSA. So it's
Right.
about 9 minutes in. I just gotta say this to everybody. And I want to make this clear. We're talking about NFL players like Darius Slay. We're talking about people like Molly Quinn, that want to bring up everything, except for the task at hand. You can't go to fucking court, okay? We can't go to the damn court and bring up, oh, somebody hit me last week, when we're talking about a situation that happened yesterday. He don't give a damn about what happened last week. He don't care about what happened 2 years ago. A situation ain't got nothing to do with what the task is at hand. I don't want to hear about when the elephant man grew another another set of ears. I don't give a damn about none about that. I don't care about what Dennis Rodman wore a dress in 1990. Ain't got nothing to do with what Calvin Ridley is doing right now. Stop bringing up domestic violence. Stop bringing up everything else. Well, they make money off of FanDuel. Guess what?
Mm-hmm.
These players get paid from what the players profit, what the NFL profit for. So all this dumbass shit that guys like Darius Slay is tweeting and talking about, oh, they did this to Colin Kaepernick. Well, Colin Kaepernick ain't got shit to do with what Calvin Ridley knew. Right. He knew that this was illegal, and he decided to do it anyway. At the end of the day, what's my point? Stick to what the topic at hand is. Stop bringing up everything else. Stop being fucking snitches. That's what y'all are. Y'all some damn snitches. Mm-hmm. Stop bringing about what everybody else did. All right? Stop bringing up what everybody and focus on the task at hand. The task at hand is that Calvin Ridley broke a rule. I don't care about what the NFL policy is. I don't care about what the the justice system. I don't care about none of that. All I know right now is Calvin Ridley broke the rules. So at the end of the day, you gotta stop. Stop trying to bring up everything else and stay in the moment. The moment right now is Calvin Ridley. All right? The moment right now is Calvin Ridley. I don't want to hear nothing about what everybody else did.
Because remember in one of the tweets, he literally said, "What I know what I did was wrong." That says everything right there. You knew you was wrong. And Weezy B here, he said, yeah, and I know this for a fact. Yeah, parlays are for amateur bettors. You're supposed to be a damn near expert. Ridley says you are a player. He probably didn't win anything, risking it all for rookie bets. Yeah, man, that's all parlay cards are.
And they're talking, who cares about what? Look, at the end of the day, guess what? The Falcons care.
Yeah,
sorry, Bridget, but the Falcons care if he did something wrong. It ain't none of our business. Of course it does. Why? Because as fans, we got to sit up here and pay for this stuff. We got to pay for going to the games, pay for the tickets, and if his ass is doing stupid stuff, and I've already paid my $2,000, $3,000 for my PSL, guess what? You gonna give a fuck then?
Right.
What if Matt Ryan decide? What if there was Matt Ryan? Everybody be mad as hell if there was Matt Ryan decide to do some dumb stuff. And we up here talking about, well, who cares about what he did? We ain't holy saints. I don't give a fuck if he ain't the holy saint. What he did was wrong.
Right.
You gotta stop that.
And Tay Rush here, this was the news today as well. Like Deshaun Watson is not facing charges, should be main news source of all media outlets. I'm not surprised by that. Did you see the wigs on those girls that was testifying against them? That's all I needed to know. I know it's a serious moment, but when I saw them wigs, it was like, nah, they lying. But like I said, it's very interesting too, because now you all because the Deshaun Watson trades have been circulating since last season. But because now that it's officially known that he's not going to get charged, the talks are going to go skyrocket through the roof. So, like I said, that's good on him. I'm glad he didn't get caught up in that. And I'm gonna say it like this: that goofball shit, because we already know what the real deal about that was. But let's see. Any other questions here? So Tawdry came with another one. He said Todd McShay predicting them to draft London at 8 and trading up to take Matt Carroll in the bottom of the first. Oh God. I gotta get reminded of this shit.
Why are we trading up for Matt Corral? Whatever the hell his name is. But like, huh? Did he just break an ankle or something? Like we gonna trade up for a guy that broke an ankle?
Now, if they talking about getting a quarterback, you have to look at the reports as far as the quarterbacks they've been talking to the most. I haven't heard Matt Carroll's name mentioned that much at all when it comes to the Falcons.
The Drake
Now,
London that doesn't surprise me.
It don't surprise at all because he's essentially the number one receiver in this draft. But if you take a receiver, and I'm gonna just say it like this, for a lot of the people that may be looking like, well, I want a quarterback within the first 3 picks. If you get a receiver, you can't afford to get no quarterback in the first 3 picks. You have to essentially get pieces on your defense. Because, like I said, I know wide receiver is kind of like a big need for the Falcons. It's pretty much we need damn everything. Let's just be real. We need a lot. Bless you. I'm not trading up for no quarter. If I'm going to be trading back in the first round, I'm getting me the best defensive player I can find, the best pass rusher, D lineman that's available at that moment.
What's going to help your team?
Right.
And no team up here trying to lose on purpose unless you Jacksonville every year.
Right.
Or the Jets, who they're constantly trying to look for a quarterback. No team in the NFL is up here trying to
exactly
lose on purpose.
Exactly. And D. Coleman here said it best. I can't put it no better than this. When you need a lot, build the trench. Exactly. That's the safest way to go, man. Like I said, if everybody knows about war stories of ancient wars and stuff like that, about ancient sieges, you gotta get past the wall to get into the city. If you ain't got no wall, like I said, if you ain't got no wall protecting you to where the attacking force has to try to seize over the wall to get into your city, and it's just wide open like that, it's not a good idea. I'm gonna do it like the South Park ski instructor. You're gonna have a bad time. Remember that. Yeah. Defensive line and edge, like I said, that has to be the main priority if you're talking about a long-term change, a long-term investment. But
again, why are we ignoring this? I don't know why we act like we can just turn the sliders down, turn them up, turn them down. When we don't have a dang on receiver. Who the hell is Matt Corral going to throw to?
Exactly. Because remember, in order for you to trade back into the first round like that, you essentially going to have to give up your second round picks. So you essentially...
Go ahead.
I'm about to say, so you're building up your offense, but you're not getting the best players on defense neither. So that's why you have to have that balance as far as how you looking at this draft. That's why you don't really see a lot of people really talking. Now, like I said, if you're talking about more so trading back from that 8th pick to about 12 or 13, like I said, whatever they're going to do.
What are we talking about?
Get a serviceable wide receiver in free agency.
He's a free agent because he ain't no damn good.
Hey, look. Hey, Mike, you never know, man. You never know. You still got to draft. You still got to draft a receiver, regardless if you get one in free agency or not.
But he's still trash. That's why he's a free agent. You want to give a brand new quarterback some trash? What we talking about, people?
I mean, bro, we couldn't get no worse than last year, bro. We couldn't get no worse.
You want to bet? You want to bet? You bring their ass back. That's how it get worse.
I got 1,500 on it, man. What you want to do on it?
Y'all like I'm just baffled. Like I don't have a problem with drafting a quarterback, but we don't have no damn weapons. Who the hell he gonna throw to? Eliminate the kids again? Christian White?
Yeah. Yeah. I like this analogy right here. Build the race car, then go get the driver.
The driver. Perfect.
We got another question here. It said, do you trust Terry and Art's drafting style by what we got last draft? Yes. Because if you essentially look at last year's draft, yes, it wasn't the sexiest draft. Like I said, you get Kyle Pitts out of it. But if you look at the playing time from a lot of these guys that was drafted last year, a lot of guys played significant snaps. Not many teams can say that. I mean, our team was already bad enough, but let's look at it. You had Kyle Pitts. We already know what he could do. Richie Grant. He, like I said, he's gonna have time, but he's shown flashes. You got Jalen Mayfield, who's gonna get better, moving from a new position to cover a position that was essentially a injury-plagued position this year at left guard. Drew Dahlman, we still got to see what that's about. You got Ogundeji. He get him a couple pass rush moves. He's going to be an excellent player for this team. He already can set the edge. He basically gives you what Steven Means gives you. The only difference is this dude can actually get to the backfield. Darren Hall, when he came in as a slot corner when they needed to, he played very well. We don't trust Kendall Sheffield with shit. Let's be real. Kendall Sheffield can't stay on the goddamn field. Most of the time, we forget he be on the team because he's in street clothes on the sideline. We think he one of the Tower Boys. Avery Williams, like I said, he had some fumbles here. Now, I ain't gonna say fumbles, but he had some hiccups here in the return game early in the season. But he started to get better, and you saw him get some snaps at corner as well. So that's another one of those, okay, if we need a body in there, we could put him in there. The only one we really haven't seen is Frank Darby. We see him on special teams. But if you look at how they drafted last year, they drafted balanced. It wasn't offensive heavy. It wasn't defensive heavy. It was balanced. You had equal number of offensive and defensive players. But the main constant is they drafted players in positions that we know were going to be free agents for this upcoming offseason. Kyle Pitts was an insurance policy. Because Julio wanted out. Julio was gone. That's why when they got him as the best player available, they snatched him up last year. How you feel about that question, Mike? So, yeah, Terry and Art, I like how they did it because you actually saw a theme. It was a consistent theme. It was guys. They got a bunch of seniors and they got a bunch of guys that were versatile, guys that could play multiple positions. But you saw that the main constant of them is building the foundation right now and building it the right way. What do you think about that, Mike?
What people don't understand when we're talking about even rebuild, you still gotta have one particular thing. Gotta have that money.
money.
Who the hell you gonna rebuild with? A bunch of CFL players? Everybody talking about, we just need to rebuild. There's a salary cap. You don't just get rid of people and not pay them. You promise to do this. You promise these players a contract, a set amount of dollars. Mm-hmm. If you prematurely get rid of these guys, guess what? You still have to pay them.
Right.
So I know. Look, the biggest. Let's just call it what it is. Let's call it what it is. Everybody else see what everybody else got, and you want it too. Mama, I want a pop ticket. I want a pop ticket. He got one. I want one too. That's what the Falcons fans about.
Jealousy.
Mm-hmm. It went absolute ape shit when Seattle traded Russ. Man, how can we get him? They got 2 first-round picks for him. We can do that too. That's it.
They had the money capital to do so. They already have money to do it. Because before that trade happened, they was already like top 7 as far as having cap space to make moves. So that cap hit they took from Russell Wilson wasn't detrimental to the team because they had a cushion enough to where they could take it. See, the Falcons don't have that cushion. They running on bare brakes right now on your car. Wait a minute. Hold on. There's a name I ain't seen in a good little while.
Oh,
woman, where the hell you been? Where the hell you been at, woman? They got everybody asking about you and shit. Asia, how's it going? If anybody don't know that this is the princess of the AFN family right here. I'm about to say, goddamn, the girl done disappeared off the face of the earth. But back to talk about Now if the Falcons was in she said it was school. And like I said, it's all good. We just mess with it. We just glad to see you again. So if the Falcons would have had a draft, a cap situation or a money situation where they was like before all this was like right around that 30 million, 40 million. See, now they can make that kind of trade and stuff like that, or they can make all those kind of free agent moves.
They allow guys like KJ Wright to walk in free agency. Like they allow Richard Sherman to walk. They didn't just prematurely cut these guys. When you prematurely cut guys after you are on the hook for dead cap money. It just does not go away. This is the reason why I said that the live last night. We talked about this. We got all these content creators talking about all this. Oh, we can get rid of. Of course, we can get rid of them, but that don't mean we can't. We not gonna still pay them. Right. You can't just come work for me in my garage and not pay people. Oh, you gonna pay them. You not gonna like it. They gonna get their money some way.
Yeah, because essentially, like you said, essentially, like with Truth, like Desmond Trufant's case, for instance, last year he was getting paid by 3 teams last year: Falcons, Saints, Lions. Even though all 3, even though he didn't play with us for the last couple of years, even though the Saints cut him, and even though the Lions cut him, was it Lions or was it? Because I remember he ended up with the. Okay, I just wanted to make sure because I remember he was on the Raiders too. But yeah, you got to, like you said, if it's one of those, if it's not a guarantee in the contract, if there's a guarantee in the contract, you're going to pay that regardless. Let's see. Oh, look, Mike. Of course, Asia come back. Look who's coming in here, peeping his little eyes in here.
Good gracious, like
Ebony and ivory.
Whipped.
What's it? Juicy fruit. Evan here said, the Bears and Khalil Mack, they ate $24 million in cap to have a dude help another team. Yeah. That's essentially why the Eagles was in the kind of predicament they was salary cap wise as well, because they still had to pay Carson Wentz. Remember, they traded Carson Wentz 2 years after they gave him his 4-year contract. So that shit ain't free.
No, it's not.
But Noah said the Bears are in shambles.
I mean, yeah. They paid $100 million for a defensive player and then brought another defensive player in there. And that defensive player ended up getting more sacks than he did.
Exactly. What are easy talking about IRS should get on True Font's ass. Hell nah. Oh man, I like this question. Hold on, wait a minute. Before I get to that one, here's a comment here that's very interesting. It says, is it possible to give a player a high signing bonus to lower his cap when they first offer them a contract? That's how it usually goes.
So signing bonus is a combination of things, a roster bonus and a signing bonus. So all that essentially is one thing. So that combine that with roster bonuses, and they combine it with obtainable stats. So they'll put a low stat number in, like 3,000, 2,500 or something like that. And most quarterbacks can get 25 if they stay healthy. So like that's how they kind of use signing bonuses. A lot of obtainable stats and roster bonuses and stuff like that.
Right. Hold on. Wait a minute. He said, y'all been heartbroken twice, but yeah, we sitting here looking out the side, looking like this. All by myself. With tissue and all that kind of shit. Hey, Dirty Bird T. I'm about to say, go ahead and ask the question. Like I said, you ain't gotta ask permission to ask a question. You just go ahead and throw it in there.
I got a feeling it's gonna be stupid.
Man, we ain't gonna know until it comes up, man. Don't be judgmental already.
Every time they ask a question before question, it's always up there.
Don't be judgmental, man. That's how we run people out of here.
He gonna run because he's scared anyway. Would you take Harris? Harris.
It depends.
Harris.
Talking about the linebacker. Talking about the linebacker.
What the hell is his name?
Christian Harris, the linebacker. Because eventually we're going to have to look for a linebacker in this year's draft. Like I said, I have like four names that I can see. Because I'm going to throw Devin Lloyd's name out the picture because I know we probably ain't going to get him. Well, most likely might not get him, but you pay attention to Christian Harris, that's one of them. Darren Beavers, you pay attention to another one. Chad, well, knowing this Falcon fan base, Chad Muma will probably be an unpopular pick. And the other one is Quay Walker. Like I said, those are the four names y'all need to pay attention to for linebackers.
It wouldn't hurt. I'm not against it. I told people before, don't get surprised. Don't be surprised to not see either Debo or Foyer. Somebody's gonna have to go. Can't pair.
Right.
You can't pair two linebackers making over $10 million. Somebody's gonna have to
Oh.
go. So don't
Oh
be
man.
surprised.
Hey. Hey, I'm about to say, everybody, we got a treat for y'all tonight. Um,
Ain't no
well, you
damn
know when you
treat.
see
Get
this,
his ass on the damn.
hold
Get
on.
your ass in here. Ain't no damn treat.
Oh, I want to give it all to right
Oh, man.
well, boy, LT, man, what's going on, man?
What's going on, people? How y'all doing this evening?
Hey, we good,
That's
we
what
good,
I
we good.
do. That's what I do.
Y'all can't mess with
Boy.
me. I am the silverback. Oh man.
Oh man. So what's the word for the night? We just talking random talk.
We just pretty
Here
much
we
just
go. We
answering
got one.
questions. We're gonna eventually let people come in here in the next few minutes. We just gonna get some questions in here before we let people come on.
Well, I'm gonna be dark screen tonight because I'm over here trying to enjoy my gaming session.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ted,
So,
go ahead.
well, go ahead, go ahead.
No. I was just gonna read this question right here. I know he asked it to me and Mike, but I'm gonna let you go ahead and hit this first. Say, if you was the GM, what would be your first move?
Talking about for this year.
Yeah, I guess as far as either free agent, I guess free agency. I think that's what he mean. Like, what would be your first move on free agency?
Free agency draft. To free that up. And well as the restructures and all that type of stuff. So,
I
like
mean,
what?
well,
Right.
first of all, you definitely got to restructure Matt's contract to get more cap for this year. Um, Free agency, I'm not sure because I could tell how this regime want to operate. They want to operate by actually building guys like through the draft in a sense. Like, not saying they wouldn't bring in free agents, but I'm here to tell y'all like if y'all think that the Falcons probably won't be bringing in top tier guys, excuse me, I don't necessarily see that happening. They'll probably play a bunch of mid tier dudes to come play for the Falcons, then again spend all that money to bring in a top tier guy. Because one thing about football, everybody is more than just one person that's gonna make or break the team. You have to have a 53-man roster. So and then you also have to be in position to have next man up. So in case somebody does go down with an injury, you not necessarily losing that production at that spot. We've seen that time and time again. I give any Falcons fan a prime example. Look at that 2018 season for us. When we lost our starters at certain positions, we couldn't get nothing else from that spot because the guys that we had there wasn't necessarily either they wasn't ready or they really wasn't qualified to be handling that spot throughout the duration of a season. I mean, so I don't think for saying free agency wise, they're definitely not going to get top tier people like that. Now I said I could see them definitely spending money, like restructuring Matt's contract to put more relief on the cap and whatnot. And they might. I I will hope to bring in a Hicks and a Chandler Jones, but that depends on how much money are they asking. I don't think Chandler probably is asking for top tier money now because he's pretty much done gotten paid throughout his ordeal with Arizona. And I guess, just like time done ran out, you probably don't want to be there no more. Some things probably don't change within the organization. So he might
Right.
not want to be able to play in Arizona anymore.
Right.
As far as let me see, I can say the draft. To me, I'm looking strictly on that front. On the defensive side, we have got to shut it up, people. I don't understand. I understand folks have their feelings about things and whatever the case may be. Do I want us to keep both Foye and Debo? I would love to. Is it
Mhm.
is it less than likely? Very much so. I mean, the only way I can see us keeping both Foye and Debo, the Falcons gonna have to look at Foye and be like, okay, yes, you had a decent season last year, but you don't have no accolades in your career. You're not an all pro. You're not a pro bowler. You're not considered, as a, for a linebacker award or anything like that. You don't have that. Yeah, you got a couple player of the weeks, maybe, you know what I'm saying? But you don't have no over the course of a season accolade. You know what I'm saying? So that could be their code, they could be their holding card where they can, they could talk to for you, like, okay, we want to pay you, but we ain't gonna pay you X, Y, and Z until you get the type of accolades that you need for you to get said money. But then you also know there are teams that's out there that are desperate for any type of help, so they'll go out there and they'll throw cash at him in order for him to bring him to the team. The problem about that is throwing cash at him don't necessarily mean he's going to be successful where he goes. So,
Right.
I mean, like, so that's a take on that. But like I said, for saying that front, I mean, we've been struggling on that front for years. I really want people to understand that when it boils down to things, we've done this before. I see people talk about drafting cornerbacks in the draft. We literally did this in 2013. We literally drafted a corner in the first and second round and neglected to really shore up our line. Like when we actually had talent that could be on the line, we neglected to actually do something about that. So in the midst of us doing that, it caused us to, fail in that front. And then people might be like, well, the secondary suck. Well, it gonna suck when your front can't do their job. And you can't stop the run, when you can't, get the quarterback off the spot and make him dysfunctional throughout the course of a game. Yeah, you're not going, your secondary gonna look, trashy. Like people don't understand, like, you cannot sit here and say, oh, we grab two lockdown corners, this, that, and the third gonna happen. It's not like that, because one thing about defense is you're not gonna use the same scheme throughout the course of a game. Some plays gonna be man coverage, some plays gonna be zone coverage, some plays gonna be blitzes. It's some plays gonna be zone blitzes. You know what I'm saying? So you have to know how to be able to play multitude of assignments and whatnot. It's not like this is why we keep using the reference. This is not Madden, because that's how Madden operates. They only give you basic ass assignments, and that's not how football is. That's not how football works. So, like I said, I mean, the fact that we allowed 2,200 yards rushing on us last year, and on top of that, we only sacked the quarterback 18 times. Like, you cannot sit here and tell me that you want to say, okay, we allowed 2,200 yards rushing, we only sacked the quarterback 18 times. Let's draft the cornerback. There's no logic behind that at all. That literally says fix your damn trenches written all over
it. And like I said, getting back to this $10 super chat by Andrew G. He said, how would y'all feel if we brought in a guy like Randy Gregory? He only made $1 million with Dallas last year, so maybe they can get him cheap. It's all, like I said, it's all going to depend on extensions. It's all going to depend on what they do as far as the freeing up as much cap space as possible. I mean, like I said, even right now, we really don't have enough money to even sign our draft class. So
right.
a lot of these moves that we look at that, okay, maybe they can make these, maybe they can make that, maybe they can make that. Mike just said it earlier. Money, 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 money. You need money in order to make that happen. Because I know he said he made $1 million with Dallas last year. Yeah, that's about all we got right now. About
1 million.
4 million. So
I cash here ain't nothing but $1 million. It goes on and on and on.
But like I said, also shouts out to Bridget, Kelsey, Shane Elliott, Triple G, Nuka ATL, Carrie Calamia, Eric McDowell. Appreciate y'all joining us here. Here's another question that I saw. Shane Elliott said, would you extend Matt's contract to where he is 43 years old, but will free up $20 million in cap space these years? Would you do it, but have to keep Matt until he's 43 years old? mean, yes, even if you do keep him till he's 43, they got a quarterback in mind that they're going to develop within that time, even if they give him the extension. It's not like it's going to be one of those cases where they're just going to extend him and then let it be all.
I could be wrong about the situation, but I don't think the Falcons QB won't be in the draft for probably like another 2 years. This guy they probably would want to take.
I mean, like you said, we don't know. Like I said, they might want somebody in this draft. They might want somebody next year. We don't know. But what you're doing is you're by doing that, you're essentially building the team. This is what we talk about: build the foundation. LT just said it: 2,200 yards rushing allowed, 18 sacks.
I just got a question for the people. What's wrong with us building the trenches? Why are we so hungover on trying to replace Matt so bad? Why are we trying to go with this flashiness on trying to get big time receivers? We've been doing this. I mean, I'm asking a general question because we've been doing this literally for the last decade and it has not gotten us nowhere. Whether y'all want to believe it or not, this is literally what we've been doing. Having top tier talent everywhere on the team except what we needed more. I never forget watching people laugh at Dallas for years because they kept going, like every year in the draft, they kept taking like linemen in the first round. And people was like, Dallas took another lineman. Dallas took another lineman. They freaking crazy. Why would you take another lineman? And yet, a running back, I mean, BS, he had to deal with injuries and other stuff, but he was considered a bust compared when he came out of high, the type of back that he was in college. He ran for 1,500 yards behind that line. That running back name is Darren McFadden. McFadden was pretty much out the league. Coming to Dallas, he was on his last leg. That man rushed for 1,500 yards behind that line. You got to have trenches. Mm-hmm. Another example. If y'all know anything about the San Francisco 49ers, their defense, their defense is good collectively. Their secondary ain't worth 2 prostitutes off of Fulton Industrial. They suck. But you know what makes them look decent? That front seven. When your front seven can hold the run and can get after the quarterback, it eliminates the deficiencies in your secondary. If you think I'm lying, ask Aaron Rodgers.
I want everybody to drop fire emojis because I know y'all about tired of me and Mike saying that. So y'all got it from somebody else as well. Y'all make sure y'all drop some fire emojis on there because that's exactly what the direction this team needs to go to. And like I said, even when we talk about Sauce Gardner, that's the main name. Well, that's the main name everybody's associating. I want you to kind of pay attention to him just a little bit closer. Take the name out of it. His main weakness is he tends to get grabby. Does that sound familiar to y'all?
Damn, that sound familiar.
Mike, does that sound familiar to you?
Nope, because I don't know who he is. I'm gonna keep that up. I ain't got nothing.
He petty.
I don't know, dude. I don't know nothing about him.
Hey, we just going off the scouting reports.
I know what you're talking about, but I still don't know who he is.
Do you want me?
All I'm saying is you want to bring in a person like Charles Gardner, whatever his name is.
Charles Gardner.
But I don't know.
That sounds like a damn character.
Why you playing? That used to be the running back for the Oakland Raiders.
I was about to say Charlie Gardner and his
Charlie Gardner for the Raiders.
Exactly. What's going on, Trevor? He want me to go ahead and shout his name out. I know he gonna be big. So I'm like, what's going on? I thought I did shout your name out when I was singing that song for you and Asia ass. So hey, I'll do it again.
All I'm saying is, I mean, I done had a cornerback on my team that kept playing, that kept that on that little bow wow on repeat.
Like, look, bro, stop. Don't start talking about grabby corners. Like
you that I'm about to say, bro. I'm about to say,
all the way.
You ain't got no room to talk about grabby corners.
That motherfucker be unbuckling people's shoelaces and shit while he on the damn field. He can't stay on his feet. He be grabbing ankles and shoes.
Oh, dude, you was saying talking about cornerback is that be grabbing. Come on, bro, stop. I mean, at this point. Listen, in many games I watched that, man. I'm damn near asking him if he planning on giving Julio $200.
Why?
Then you kept trying to take his clothes off.
Yeah, boy. That Julio down there out there, but that nigga, he grabbed it down. His underwear, the man was grabbing everything.
Damn, boy, like you planning on giving him some money after this game? Shit.
Exactly. So, you want to go ahead and open it up for the people?
Hold on. I gotta say something real quick though. Where's that?
Could it be some bullshit? What's I tell you now?
I'm gonna find it. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, while you doing that, we're gonna read some of these comments. Let's see what we got here. Brian Peoples here said it too. Drafting a DB would not improve your run defense. The only DB, if the draft in the top 10 that can improve your run defense would be Kyle Hamilton, only because you can plug him in as a sub package linebacker as well.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, there ain't really no DB can really help you.
Well, let me just say this real quick.
What you got?
It's not so much. I don't know how many times we're gonna continue to say this, but we can't continue to build a team the exact same way and then wonder why, and just keep on hoping that it's gonna end up with a different result. Albert Einstein said the definition of insanity is continue to doing the same thing, expecting a different result. We literally did exactly this under Tony.
I said it.
Our that we literally draft two front and then turn around and drafted Robert Alford, and we sitting up here talking about drafting Sauce Gardner, who hasn't played one elite receiver in his entire career. But we up here talking about he ain't giving up touchdowns. Motherfucker, he playing Murray State in Houston.
Little Army and Navy.
Army and Navy, and y'all talking about he ain't giving up a touchdown. Of course. He ain't even had no damn about it.
Motherfucker got here guard receivers at Middle Georgia College.
Well, but Atlanta Technical College, and you up here talking about he ain't giving no touchdown. Come on, man.
The UEI wide receivers.
Right. Like, man, who the hell?
He got that guard. He guarded
Everest Institute. If you're working a 9 to 5, and you're trying to make the same money.
Out there got the tight ends that from the ICDC college.
Hey, what's wrong with y'all? He ain't gave up no touchdown. Have y'all seen the talent he went up against? Clayton State. Good God. Boy, I tell you.
I'm saying though, when he actually saw talent, look what happened.
He got roasted and toasted in that game against Alabama. Man, they dusted his ass. Come on, bro. He did a good job again. Jameson, what? Huh?
That team still got their ass whooped though.
They didn't need to attack him. They didn't need to go at him. They was already out of the game.
Vlad Tep is talking about Chattahoochee Tech.
Come on, bro.
Hey, look. Travel even said, man, he saw dude be locking up all them Division II receivers. Cause the thing is, we always but like I said, the thing is, we always said about why a lot of people were so skeptical about drafting AJ Terrell was because he got beat by Jamar Chase in the national title game. But then go back and look at he literally faced mostly all the top receivers in the SEC. Actually, most of the top receivers in the country, which is usually the SEC, ACC, and did good.
So him showcasing his talent in college is legit. Versus Saul's showcasing his damn talent in college, and it's looking like I don't know, dog. When you out there guarding like Michael Linson's on at wide receivers, it don't work.
Michael Linson with the bad knees and shit.
And like,
I can stay on my damn feet.
Right. But and we got to get away from this notion that if we like that we don't despise Sauce. It's like Sauce is not.
If our finger up their ass, we hate them. That's what it is. Y'all want everybody. We want everybody that y'all like to be all up his ass. I don't. We don't
need him.
We don't.
We despise Sauce. You keep talking about we despise Sauce. Like, bro, I'm not worried about no damn sauce. Yeah, only sauce I worried about is this damn honey mustard sauce. Honey damn chicken nuggets. That's all the sauce I'm worried about. And I ain't worried. That's on the sauce I'm worried about. I ain't worried about those cornerback. Like, bro, like again, you talking about we despise this, man. What about this front? You still ain't telling me about this front. Yeah, that front seven on the defense has not been good. Like, what we gonna do something about that?
We more worried about getting locked down secondary than getting help for Grady Jarrett.
Thank you. I mean, your secondary gonna lock down when your front seven can actually gonna do something at the front. When they can push the line of scrimmage and force the QB off his spot and force Aaron throws, your secondary gonna look elite.
Mm-hmm.
Lord have mercy, boy.
I just refuse to.
Want to know how I know? Want to know how I know? Want to know how I know?
I feel comfortable calling another man sauce. Like, huh?
It sounds weird as shit, though. I don't know.
I'm gonna tell y'all something though. You want to know how I know that worked? If anybody know anything, because of course a lot of y'all don't know because y'all was big fans of Mike Vick and everything. I understand, which I respect that. I mean, I'm a fan too. But the thing is, when y'all think about that 2002 season, that lovely season people like to bring up so much about, oh, we went to Green Bay and we beat Green Bay. You do know the quarterback really didn't do much, right? And in that season, our secondary individually, like when you look at individual players, they weren't that good. But you know what made them look formidable? We had a front seven. Mm-hmm. They weren't really, the only person that actually stood out in that front seven was two, actually, which was Patrick Kearney and Keith Brooking. But when you say collectively, when you had a Patrick Kearney, a James Theory, a Ed Jasper, a Ellis Johnson, a Brady Smith, a Matt Stewart, a Mark Semino, a Chris Draft, when you got those guys making names of themselves collectively, that what made your secondary look worth something. So with all them picks that, big play Ray used to get and Keon Carpenter, rest in peace of my dog, Jared McBurrows and Ashley Ambrose when they was out there getting turnovers, and they out there passing that magic. They were passing that magic because that front seven was actually putting pressure on somebody. That front seven was actually stopping the run.
Yeah, Travis Hall as well. Hey,
I forgot about him.
Look, and like I said, one thing you have to say too. Remember the like I said, everybody think about that 98 Super Bowl Falcons team. What was the heart and soul of that defense?
That's right.
Chuck Smith, Lester Archambault, Travis Hall, Jesse Tuggle. And it made the secondary it made the secondary look even better. All the top defenses in this league usually end up with a front seven that can either get sacks, that can stop the run.
If we want to be honest, like Tampa secondary ain't that good.
Nah.
What made them look good because you had the front.
Right. Look at Green Bay. I know Jair Alexander's a damn good corner. But look at the front sevens where you had Zadarius Smith. Hold on. Somebody said, hold on. There was a question here. What's going on, Curtis? What's going on? Hold on. Here's a question. Do y'all think Kendall Sheffield will fit better at free safety? I think Kendall Sheffield will fit better being healthy. That's what he'll be. He'll fit better being on the sideline. On IR. We just got to call him
straight
IR.
to that Michael Jackson oxygen tank. That's what oxygen tank.
The hyperbolic timetable.
No. Not the healing tank from Dragon Ball Z.
Is that He'll had a only hydraulic tank that's exclusively for legs, because that for some damn reason that boy can't stay healthy for nothing.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, he a track star, so I could kind of expect that. A lot of people don't know, boy. If you a track star, them track stars always suffer like a lot of leg injuries.
Mm-hmm. Here's a question here. Said people are still shell shocked over drafting DN because of Tack and Vic.
No, they ain't. They ain't got nothing to do with Vic.
Tack is one thing. Vic's situation was different. The Vic was playing out of position since day one. That's why I don't go hard on that man.
Right.
The Vic Beasley was misused from day one.
No, that ain't the reason. They shell shocked when Ray Edwards and Jamal Anderson. Ain't got nothing to do with Tack.
That's some shell shock. That's some shell shock stuff for your
man. I had to pause the game off that one, but good God.
We ain't gonna do Tack and Vic like that. At least they showed us something. Them two ain't do nothing.
Well, Tack ass showed us a lot on Twitter.
He did
on draft night.
Draft night.
At least Tack had one season where he had 7 sacks. Now most of that came in.
That was his rookie year.
He did it. Ray Evans and Jamal, they didn't do that.
Valid point.
Valid point.
You ain't getting no argument for him.
Valid point. But the thing is, if you're shell shocked about getting, if people are still shell shocked about getting defensive ends, then you're not going to.
Do we have to bring up the history of Andre
defensive?
Bruce? We want to bring up Andre Bruce again? Well, I mean, we can do that.
Oh Lord,
no! Y'all worried about Tack and Vic? Y'all need to go look at Andre Bruce. He's supposed to be the next Lawrence Taylor. Supposed to.
Shit, he was more like Martin Lawrence on the damn field. He got knocked out by Tommy Hearns. That's how his ass was. But yeah, like I said, because if you shell shock over some picking defensive ends in the first round, you're not going to build your defense is not going to live up to its potential. Because that's one position essentially that you can literally damn near draft every year until you find the ones that hit. That's why they always say you can never have enough pass rushers. All the good teams have at least 4 or 5 guys that can rush the passer.
Amen.
We had 3 of them we had 4 of them last year. Two middle linebackers and Grady Jarrett, and you had Dante Fowler, who got 7 sacks, who missed out on a $2 million signing bonus when all he needed was half a sack in 9 games. Yeah.
Absolutely atrocious.
You talk about Jamal. Somebody said Jamal Anderson. They passed on Darrell Reeves. Hell, you got to remember. They passed. Remember, Patrick Willis was in that same draft. Yeah. Oh, here.
So we've been passing on talent in the draft for years.
Right.
Now I will say this. Now I know because I think like the same draft that we took like Pierre Jerry. I think like right after him went Clay Matthews. And a lot of people might be like, well, we could have got Clay. Yeah, we could have. Right. Problem I have about now, here's the issue that I've been wanting people to understand I have with the situation. How do we know he would have been successful playing for the Falcons? Right. I say that not to be no hater, but you know, people have to understand we always had issues with developing talent. So would Clay have been the guy that we saw Clay Matthews turn into if he was a Falcon? Or would we have been calling that man an absolute bust? You don't know.
That's what I say. It's all dependent on the system regardless. Folks talk about Antonio Brown is at the Hawks game tonight. What the?
Like, why we?
Why do I want a person who make horrific rap tracks? I understand that y'all are used to it. Yeah, I understand Atlanta folks are used to that, especially with y'all new age Atlanta people. You know, y'all got.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? You got the 3 you want to be Hispanic black men. Well, 4'9", because you know they all hang with that Quintorris guy. I mean, you got Lil Pump, Lil Gunna, whoever the fuck, I don't know. But if y'all want to listen to horrific rap tracks, just say your own folks' music rather pump today's. Like you got local artists that y'all can listen to. I don't want that shit on my team. Okay. Now y'all want to talk about team when you have people like Skip Bayless calling T.O. Team Obliterator. That motherfucker AB is something different. Okay.
Wait a minute.
Mr. Big Chest, the Diva, whatever the fuck you want to call him on Days of Our Steelers, that's exactly what the fuck he is.
You didn't just say that. Tell me you didn't just say that. I thought him and Kanye was supposed to be buying the Broncos together.
Oh, hell.
What the hell is that supposed to be?
They buying a Bronco. I guarantee they ain't gonna buy the Bronco.
All I'm saying is every time I think of AD, this is all I think of. Enough from the clown. That's all I think about.
Oh my God.
All I'm thinking is, homie, don't play that. Just give me a goddamn and just smack his ass upside the head.
I'm pretty sure if anybody saw The Dark Knight, that's what Michael J. White said when they had that meeting with Joker.
Right. Exactly.
I'm good on that.
Like I said, speaking of wide receivers, just a quick question. let's say the Falcons don't get Drake London or Traylon Burke, and we already is out. Because I know most people gonna say George Pickens, but
Man, please, I was about to say that. Please don't say George Pickens again.
No. I was about to say, is there any other receivers that you look at in this draft that be like a potential? Okay.
Let's see. I watched George Pickens. I watched the guy that tore his ACL for Georgia last year. I watched the dude that number one for Georgia last year. I watched
Tony, would you hush with that man? We get it. We get it, Tony.
I'm saying I'm saying I watched that. I watched those three people. I also watched the dude that made a spectacular catch in the national championship game for Georgia.
I see Christian Watson and George Pickens one more again. Okay, that was the same two names we see on Kevin channel, on my channel, on just. It's the same two names, bro. And we don't talk about somebody.
You got to understand, it's like Dave Chappelle when he did the Making the Band skit. It's the five greatest college receivers that's coming in right now. George Pickens, George Pickens, George Pickens, George Pickens, and George Pickens.
Well, I was decided to do it. What do you think about George Pickens? Did I make like 3 videos on that?
Okay. Outside of George Pickens, outside of Christian Watson, outside of Traylon Burke, outside of, because like for me personally, and I'm gonna start this off like when you're talking about wide receivers, like especially for what the Falcons will definitely need. I'll say David Bell, because for one thing that he does that this Falcon team need, especially for guys on the outside, is this is literally a guy that catch the ball in traffic. He's a guy that runs those. He looks for the contact when he about to catch the damn ball.
Fuck all that. Can he run block?
Yeah, he can run block too.
Okay.
He can run block too. He's not a physical run blocker, but he can do enough to spring it.
I mean, I'll take that.
Mm-hmm. Curtis Smith came with the $4.99 super chat, said, "Let me get on for a hot second." Hey, he paid the money, man. Y'all ready to let some folks on for a little bit? We ain't gonna be out here too much long. We're gonna probably get about another 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Here we go. All right. And it should come up. So we got the links out here. You want to chime in on it? As far as what you want to talk about, how'd you feel about some of the moves? Just hit one of the links on the channel. Of course. LS, what's going on, man? Oh, look.
Hey, I heard, I see that on the news, right? On the Falcons fan page on Instagram. They be talking like, it seems like they restructured my line. Yeah, I see that.
It was retracted. It was a false report. We don't know if it started up yet.
It wasn't necessarily a false report. It was a quote unquote premature.
Okay, that's what I meant to say. But
I'm like,
yeah,
why you talk about it? I'm like, and this is breaking news.
Hey, what's going on, folks?
All right.
What's up?
What's going on, man? What you got for me, man?
I've been thinking about what y'all was talking about yesterday about best available, and I'm gonna give y'all some options of what y'all think. Option one: would you rather have Davis with the first pick, and number two, you get what's his name, Boye Maffei, Minnesota, and then the second pick for when I did the simulate, it was either I can either choose Brees Hall or Christian Washington. And then the third pick, which I know Pickens ain't gonna be there, you did Isaiah Spiller or Pickens. Or the option 2, would you get Jermaine
hold
Johnson?
on one second. I apologize. I gotta break this real quick. I apologize for interrupting, but keep that in mind. But Matt Ryan contract has contract extension. His restructure has been confirmed by Ian Rappaport. The Falcons have restructured the contract of Matt Ryan. So it said created $12 million worth of cap room ahead of a new league year. He's due $23 million in 22. Previously, the cap of 48. So it is been confirmed. So I want to sing a little song. Temp tones. Let's. That's not.
Well,
No.
hold on. Wait.
I
told you so. I told you so. Ooh yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh yeah.
All I need now is my leather jacket.
I got a question. I got a question.
But
What the fuck this song mean? What the fuck was
Yeezy,
it?
go to sleep. Go to sleep, Yeezy.
hold on.
Just go to sleep.
Yeezy, we got. I gotta holler at you for a second.
All right, we're
Yeah, I got
gonna
it. Yeah.
we're gonna get Kurt. We're gonna get Kurt. But yeah, I had to break that real quick. But Kurt,
You good?
I apologize, bro. We had to break that news real quick.
Right.
You good. So base option 1, I'm just gonna. Would you rather get the defensive tackle, then the pass rush with the second pick, or would you rather get Jermaine Johnson and Travis Jones, or trade back?
It depends on where they go. Because like I said, even if we're looking at 8 right now, it's not really a guarantee that they'll pick at 8. I know for me,
Yeah.
Either way, like I say, either way, it don't matter. Either way, as long as they hit both of those, you gotta get the best pass rusher you can or the best defensive tackle. Let's see. But
Before you continue, y'all have a good one, because since this news done broke, it's time for me to have fun on Twitter. And antagonize some people. Y'all be good.
oh god. But let me
Yeah,
see.
'cause I
Hold
was
on.
just
Let me answer your question like that. Let's see. Would I rather have Jordan Davis and a pass rusher, or would I rather have Jermaine Johnson and Travis Jones? Yeah, that's hard though, because you really need both of them.
But that's why I was talking about as far as what you value the most.
Right.
Do you just need a big guy in the middle,
Right.
where you can get like a what's his name, Ridgeway,
right,
in the middle, and you can get a wide on the outside. It depends on like, okay, what I can do good
Right.
with. Okay, I don't need a A++ guy or A+. I can just have a C guy right here and a B or a C A guy right here. And I need a A guy on the outside. It just depends on how, as far as his scheme and what he needs as far as players, what he's looking for. You know what I'm saying? Can I still do with Anthony Rush and just get a wide on the outside? And then you got a Jermaine Johnson or something like that.
It's not even that difficult. Like we really making this a lot difficult than what it is. We already got an A+ pass rusher. You put a big guy next to him, so you force them to have to double team that guy and not play Grady Jarrett so close. You automatically increase your pass rush, and then you go get two C+ guys, whether it's in free agency, in the draft, and you got a rotation. So you got to take the pressure off of Grady Jarrett. Grady Jarrett is an A+ pass rusher penetrator. He can get in the backfield anyhow you want it, any way you want it. But again, like we just looking too deeply into getting immediate rusher. That's the thing. We already got an A+ guy in Grady Jarrett. So what are you gonna do? You bring in a guy that's gonna force the other teams to, play him more
Double
one-on-one.
team him.
Right.
Yeah, so now you
Right.
got to pick and choose who you gonna double team. You gonna double team Davis or you gonna double team?
Right. That yeah. So the only thing that you'll be thinking about now is, do you just go ahead and get him at 8, or do you want to trade back a couple spots? Because if you want, if Davis is the guy you want, you're going to have to take him at 8 because you don't want to take that chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like because at the rate that it's going right now, like if you go off the Pro Football Focus rankings for Jermaine Johnson, they have him as the 27th ranked player in this draft as well. But
I think
like I
after
said,
the combine, I think after the combine, it made things a lot more complicated than it had to be. Because for
right,
me, during the Georgia Michigan game, in my opinion, I already thought Jordan Davis was at least a top 20 pick, maybe even top 10.
right.
And so with a lot of people's mocks, they were thinking, okay, nobody's really considering Jordan Davis, maybe except for the Chargers, because Lord knows their rush defense is god awful. So if anybody needs Jordan Davis, it's the Chargers because they need him
Right.
bad. But now after the combine and seeing how fast he is at that size and how quick he is, and it's like, oh, so he's not just some big guy that happened to be a beneficiary of an all-time great defense. He is a really good player, and I'm looking like, well, no shit.
Yeah.
Like they were double and triple teaming him all season. Like what else did you see? Like look at you have to look at their combine performance, and you also have to look at their film in their competition. He's getting doubled by Alabama linemen. He's getting doubled by some of the top linemen in the country, and they still can't do anything with that guy.
Anybody hear me?
Yeah, we're going on, Devontae.
Yo. As far as this restructure, I went on the spot track. According to spot track, they added 3 void years into his contract as part of the restructure.
Well,
What?
Hmm?
Say it again. Say it again.
They
Say it
added
again.
3 void years as part of his restructure.
so wouldn't that mean he has? I mean, of course he's coming back this year, but wouldn't that mean? Oh my goodness, I just thought about it. Oh, I had to think about this. Wait a minute.
That's exactly what that means.
Matty Ice ain't going nowhere.
Just had to say that real quick. I'm gonna get back in the comments.
Hold on, Devontae, before you leave. Explain to the people what do the void years mean.
Means he's going to stay here, and depending on his quality of play, they can either keep him or just let him go on the sunset.
Wow, they really did add a lot of. Yeah, they can spread those. Yeah,
Good Lord.
they can spread the hell. I'm looking at it now. Yeah,
But Mike,
They're
didn't
gonna
we
spread.
didn't we say that was a possibility that there was some void years that could possibly be used?
Wow.
They need to restructure
Yeah.
Debo too.
Hold on, ladies. So basically, what this means, all right, and so they restructured, they added years to it. So basically, what that means, it's a year by. It's almost exactly what happened with Tom Brady. What it does is, with the how much is it? It's 55 million. It's 36 this year, and 46 next year. They can, based on each year, if they feel the need to bring him back, if they have yet to bring a quarterback in that is up to their standard, or who, if he doesn't develop the way that they hope, they could continue to add him up to year 2026.
I
So
think what the Falcons are doing,
they
I
added
think
him
what the Falcons are doing is like, I think what they're doing is something that the 49ers wish they could have done with Jimmy Garoppolo. Because one thing that people really don't appreciate is that Matt Ryan doesn't get hurt. So when the 49ers drafted Trey Lance, they were in a pickle because it's like you gave up all these picks for a quarterback and he's not even ready. And then you had Jimmy Garoppolo always getting hurt. So it's like, do we throw Trey Lance in there? Do we not? He's not ready. Do we keep Jimmy G even though he's hurt? With us, it's like you could get the new quarterback, and if he's not ready, then who the hell cares? Because you still got those void years of Matt. You can just bring him back with one of the years. So it's a very win-win situation.
Right.
So
So like you said, like you said, with the voided years, not only does it give you the space to build a team, but it gives you more time to get that quarterback and groom that quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of putting it in a situation to where you're trying to get rid of them, now you're putting your new quarterback in a situation to where you don't have stuff set for him. He's got to go out there and do way more than what he needs to. Now you're easing the transition a lot better now. Because that's kind of like, if a lot of people don't know about the Patrick Mahomes contract, when he signed his contract, the $500 million contract, they can cut him at any time they want to. Or they can move money anytime they want to. It just depends on how they feel.
Mm-hmm. So they have permission with this contract to move, just continue to shift his money in order to help the team. So that's what those void years is all about. Based on whether or not Matt Ryan feels he wants to retire, they don't have to worry about the dead cap money when he retires, like the Saints have had to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for Mahomes, it's like if they enjoy his performance, then I think like the next year's contract gets fully guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
So you tell me that the Chiefs can cut Mahomes at any time, and this won't affect the cap space, right?
Nope.
No,
Because after 2024, they essentially every year after 2024, there's no dead cap hit on Patrick Mahomes. It's all cap savings after that.
Because it's like a 10-year contract, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In theory, but it's more like a 3-year at first.
Mm-hmm.
What voidable years? Voidable years is just permission to move the money, if need be, when you need it. So that's what voidable years based in, and based on how much money it is, the cap number, the debt cap number would kind of shift each year. So it's just based on where and how they want to shift the money.
Right. Of course. We got Calvin Ridley's thong on here.
Oh my God.
What?
If you missed
Hey, I
Monday's
got
show,
the idea from Big Sam. What did he say? Calvin really been showing his thong all year long.
Yeah, you got to go and recap the Cooler Talk show on Monday. Sam went the hell off on Calvin Ridley. But
I heard.
But the thing that, like I said, what makes this interesting is, like I said, even with this restructure, like I said, you still have other extensions that they can use, and maybe you can keep a Foyer with Deion Jones.
Mm-hmm.
They have to restructure the book. They have to restructure the book.
Well, also Grady too.
Grady as well.
So basically, he got both an extension and a restructure, basically.
Pretty much. It's just that the extension is considered the voided year. So.
Well, Dwayne B is going to become a Saints fan now.
Oh yeah.
I kind of thought he already was.
Next thing they got to do is to they really got to sign those Ice Cubes as our new running back because they got some big heads, man.
Hey, them Matt kids. You know, if they Matt taking hits like that, you know that.
Mm-hmm.
Can I say something too?
Go ahead, man. What you got?
So, some new information came out today, and it just keeps getting worse. And I don't see that same energy. This man done lied to y'all 4 times, bro. The man lied about mental health. He lied about he couldn't be able to watch football at that point, even though he was at the Chargers in the SEC championship game. He lied about only betting $1,500, and it comes out that he betted $36,000. He bet $36,000, and 2 of the games weren't even Falcons games.
So what kind of idiot would bet $36,000 for $11.116 million for his 5th-year option? What kind of idiot would do that?
This man lied to y'all 3 or 4 times.
Only Calvin Ridley.
And then you messed up the opportunity for us to get a 1st-round pick from the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
This man lied to y'all 3 times, bro.
In 4 days. Not even.
It ain't like if he got traded to the Eagles are like, oh, we're not going to pay your 5th year. You are going, whether you were traded or not, you are going to get your $11.116 million.
Regardless.
And I saw a bunch of people. And I saw a bunch of people out there like defending that dude. Like they be talking about like, oh, NFL is not sanctioning like player who do like domestic violence on women or like on child and shit. I'm like, this ain't got nothing to do with Calvin Ridley. Doing domestic violence ain't got nothing to do with the NFL. That's federal.
The topic at hand.
Yeah.
What we talking.
But betting on games, you cannot go to jail just for betting on games. That's NFL rule. They have to suspend you. All those people like Darius Slade Jr. and Malik Kern, they're fucking idiot, man.
That's a lot of money, though. Like I just can't get past that $11 million.
And that was like at least.
Here's the thing. Some people want to say, well, oh, Calvin Ridley, you know what I'm saying? We asked too much of him. We asked him to be like Julio and run those routes, and he's getting paid like Harry Douglas. Well, first of all, I remember in training camp in OTAs, he said he's ready to take over and be that number 1 receiver. And number 2, it's not our fault you graduated high school at 21 years old and came out of Alabama at 24.
So how is he going to? Okay, so you can't. I'm trying to figure out who decided it was a good idea to put on the expectation that he would run routes like Julio, because I've never seen Calvin Ridley, even when Julio was there, run a slant route and actually run it all the way through. Because he'll run a slant, catch the ball, and then run around and like do donuts in a circle.
No, he's the real deal at running routes. He's absolutely the real deal. His problem has always been physicality. He can run every route on the route tree.
Someone said,
but with confidence, that's the difference. He doesn't run it with confidence going over the middle. But when he's in practice, that's not a route that he can't run. He's that good. That's why this hurts so much, because we literally lost a great receiver on some dumb shit.
So someone said that Calvin Ridley graduated high school at 21, right?
Hey man,
this should be a red flag.
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
We're
not gonna get on his like everybody has different learning disabilities and learning the way they learn. We're not gonna get on. We don't do that. We're not gonna pick on that man like that. I'm
And
not.
I wasn't even doing it, Mike. I was just specifying the fact that he came out of college so early that he won't get a payday till he 30 years old. That was the point that I was making. So if anybody think I was taking a dig at really, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm
Right.
saying was it's not our fault that he came out of school late. You know what I'm saying? He's still on a rookie contract.
And my thing is, what people don't understand is not everybody's Antonio Brown, where you could do dumb stuff and get paid even more money for it when you come back.
Right.
So like,
Right.
so Ridley's is he 28 or whatnot? So this will be his year 28 season with the suspension.
Mm-hmm.
He comes back and we have no idea what kind of shape he'll be in for his 29 and so on and so forth. If a team decides to sign him, and if they do, it's not going to be for that crazy amount of money for someone who, in my opinion, is the best route runner in the league by far. He literally lost all of that for $36,000. Like that's crazy.
Hey, you gotta say it right. He bet on parlays.
Look, I don't even care if he bet on the Falcons to win. The fact of the matter is, like, the best bet for your team to win is if you actually played the game. So, like, it just so happened that, that we won the Jaguar game, but still, that's
Bro, you
Right.
bet on parlays, bro. You ain't even betting on the real shit.
And I appreciate you for clarifying that nipping that in the bud too, Mike.
Yeah, we're not
he
doing.
bet on Uno car.
That's a bit too
Yeah.
far right there. We don't pick on people as far as they're learning.
Yeah.
Like again, it's like people have learning disabilities and whatnot, and some people just are better in areas than others. So
Right.
we're not doing that, man.
Right. Jerry, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, fellas? How's everybody doing today?
Ah, man, we
We
good,
doing
man.
good. How about you?
Good.
Man, doing good, man. Doing good. So I just want to ask everybody about their first pick. I know a lot of people have been kind of debating on whether we should go in the trenches or we should go with the secondary or trade back or whatever. I just want to ask, what do y'all think? Do you have like that person that preference of who you want them to take at 8 if they didn't trade back?
Me and Mike on the same page. I'm pretty sure everybody knows who we want at 8. So
Right.
I'm gonna let everybody else speak.
Well, we can kind of we ain't gonna worry about what you two, because I'm gonna say it for you. They saying Jordan Davis. Like
Excuse me, KStylzz. I don't mean to interrupt you, but ATL Leo, that's not true. Calvin really bet on the Falcons to win, but there was 2 games that he betted on that didn't involve the Falcons. The only thing he bet against the Falcons was Matt Ryan taking the 3rd down sack in the 4th quarter after he got the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
that was a prop bet right there. That's what we call them, prop bets.
I just had to clarify that, but you can go ahead, KStylzz. My bad.
Shit.
That kind of lets me know that he was paying attention to the game at his own spot and was willing to quickly place that bet.
Yeah.
That's not something that would just pop up like before the game would happen.
See,
that's a situational bet.
See, like I said, now the question is going to be is now everybody's going to be looking like, how long has he been doing this? Because
or is he the only one?
Oh, we know he ain't the only one.
Oh no, he ain't the only.
He ain't the only one.
And actually,
he's the one that got caught. Pretty much. That's what it is.
In KStylzz, I saw another report too. They didn't say it was just the NFL. They said different sports. So that's an eyebrow raiser too, bro.
Right. And like I said, and let's be honest. Before we get to Jerry's question, I'll just elaborate on this. Let's be honest. A lot of these athletes and entertainers be doing this stuff too.
Of course.
But the biggest difference is you got legalized ways of doing this, and you got professional people that watch over these
How about
type
you
of
just
bets and stuff.
get a YouTube creator, okay? Partner with a YouTube creator who already does this type of stuff, and y'all
Exactly.
partner and you do it. It's like it's not rocket science.
Right.
It's not rocket science at all.
See,
You don't
this
have
is
to be a rocket science to even do that. Partner
See-
with people to make money.
See, this is what happens when you're doing this shit with Man from down the street.
It ain't
Yeah,
even the
man.
man. This is uncle.
You know what I'm
Like
saying?
I said, that's Man down the street. That's who he is.
Uncle Man down the street.
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah. Like I said, if you're gonna do it, and you got the resources, do it the right way. Do it the professional way, to where you got professionals doing this that's under contract. So if anything happens, they can't trace your
KStylzz,
name to
where
it.
your homeboys at, man? Where your other family members at? That's my thing. Like, come on, bro. You gotta be smarter than that.
Yeah. Hey, look. And we talked about this too. He said, really sure did play Strange versus Washington.
Man,
That man dropped 5 passes, bro.
that deep pass that he dropped, that could have been a touchdown. He fell and dropped it. Oh my god. Oh
Man,
my
that would have
god.
been sad for them to come out and say that he threw that game or something. That'll be some bad stuff right there.
It's more information coming out. It's only gonna get worse.
Mm-hmm.
I hope not. 'Cause definitely don't want this kind of attention.
Nah.
Like, he gonna need some protection. if it's true that he did that, he gonna need some protection after that.
They said he was hiding from the mob.
Some things that I'm paying attention to differently now is his last game against Miami, and something else in connection with Miami. Remember the joint practices that we had?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds kind of fishy when you think about stuff that was involving not only them, but also their would-be history of like trying to get players that may have had like some sort of criminal background, but they didn't matter because they were talented enough, and you know the owner willing to pay his own. Ridley got in that kind of mindset when he got over there in Miami, found out about an app that was only legal in that one specific thing. Wait, I don't know why people are saying FanDuel, because it's not FanDuel, but it's something else, and it was some app called Genius that was able to track the device and
it was
notify
Genius.
the NFL and that sort of thing, right? But when did he figure that out? Because he didn't go to the team. He didn't go with the team over at London when we faced the Jets, but then came back the following week, had a week during practice, then left an hour before the game against Carolina. So some sort of connection with Miami was weird about that. And then he starts liking posts of himself in a Dolphins jersey. And I felt like some of the pieces are kind of placing itself as to, I think he wanted to try to go back to, because isn't he from Fort Lauderdale or something?
Yeah,
in Florida?
he's from Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, he's from down there in South Florida. Yeah.
Yeah, something kind of tells me that I think he wanted to go to Miami. I think he wanted to try to be on the Dolphins and wanted to go any route he can. He may have figured that out like during the joint practice or during that week where we were facing Miami in the regular season, but something about that just kind of.
That's a really weird way to try to make it to Miami, because I know that Miami was in need of receiver help, and they were actually one of the bigger suitors along with the Eagles to get Calvin Ridley. So that's really interesting, and okay.
But it goes back to what Devontae said. It's like Arthur Smith says one bad thing about you, which isn't bad. It was constructive criticism, like Ridley's our captain, he's our leader, we know what we expect out of him, and he gets in his feelings.
So you're saying you think it could be a conspiracy theory that he did this with the intent to miss this season So he
Of
won't be
course,
traded to
of course, of
anybody.
course.
Yeah, I mean, what's the point of just requesting a trade and still getting your 11 million when you could just like get yourself suspended? What's the point of doing that?
And
That's too lame.
And
and
then
that was
the
my problem
Falcons
with Julio too. Like, why not
and
request
then
a
the
trade?
Falcons would
Why
have to
wait?
release him. You know, they don't have to release him, but if they did release him, now
They're
it's
gonna
like
have to pay him.
he would have more options versus just them trading to a specific team.
Right.
I can
Because
see
here's the weird thing, like, because
Right.
had he played this full year, he would have been a free agent anyway.
See,
Well, we would have accepted his 5th-year option, which we had to decline Hayden Hurst's 5th-year option. You know, another guy that had to actually deal with mental illness.
And he was hurt throughout the year too. So I
Mhm.
mean,
Right.
so Calvin really stealing people's PTO just to get himself suspended.
those
Well, it
conversations won't
seems
be
like he tried
over.
to get suspended because, like I say, the way he did it, surely he didn't think he was gonna get caught.
Those topic won't be over because Calvin Ridley is still on this team. We will be dealing with this shit throughout the season, throughout next season until he is released.
Let it be the first game, week 1. The whole TV broadcast like, oh, about that Calvin
Calvin
Ridley thing.
Ridley, yeah,
It's like, and then it's gonna be the
I'm
third
saying
quarter.
be
He
prepared.
was such a good player.
Well,
I'm
what
just
benefit
saying
would they
be
get for
prepared.
just what benefit would they get if they held on to him until next season? Would they still be allowed to trade for some picks or something?
I don't know.
They said that he would come back on. Supposedly, I don't know if they were saying it would void his contract or not, but they was making it seem like this year would be void, but he would come back next year with the Falcons if they didn't release him.
Yeah,
And his
because
5th
he's
year option.
suspended. Yeah, because he's suspended, we don't have to pay him that 11 million. So that's free cap space, as if we kind of released him just to bring him back for next year. But even if we did keep him and try to trade him, we wouldn't be getting the same kind of compensation, assuming someone accepts that trade. So it would be a little easier to just release him at that point.
Okay. Okay. Well, I was asking that question earlier about the draft because I saw something earlier today about Chandler Jones, about them being in the running to try to maybe
Yeah, I
make a
saw
deal
that.
to get him.
I
Yeah,
saw
I
that.
Or not.
actually wanted to try to answer your question, but I got to ask 3 small questions in order to answer that one for you, Jerry.
Okay.
So my first question has to be, did we resign anyone?
Not yet. I mean, Matt
Okay.
Ryan, we restructured his contract. That's the only thing I've seen thus
Well, I'm
far.
just talking about on the hypothetical, right?
Yeah,
Before I
yeah.
get to the pick 8, did we resign anybody?
No.
Did we go after anybody important on the D line and free agency?
Nope. We haven't officially been announced to do that either.
Well, again, this was just hypothetical. Not saying that that it has to happen, but I'm just trying to think about this, right? So if we don't
Yeah.
make any moves, then we're still as bland as we are heading into the draft, which is not ideal. But if I'm going to be put in this situation, I'd have to target someone there, right?
Yeah.
One thing I will say though is that I had to look it up, and we had 519 rushing attempts against us last season. That was 3rd most in the NFL. I guess because of that, it was no wonder why we had 200 or 2,200 rushing yards given up when there was that many attempts as well. So while that is also important, I think it's also important to try to figure out certain other scenarios. Like if you're saying that we didn't re-sign anybody and that we didn't really go after anybody, then a linebacker is kind of also another position of need there. I like my chances at the depth with both the D-line, with the interior, and also edge rusher. I don't trust it as much with the linebacking crew. So if I'm forced to take a spot there, I know he didn't really do it good at the combine, but I still trust his IQ and I still trust his ability. I think I'm gonna have to go with Devin Lloyd there.
Okay, that's that. I think that's a pretty good pick.
Because if you're telling me though that we didn't get Foye and all else goes equal with the rest of the draft, we can still get who we need there and still get some top guy at their own position there, right? I'd rather have, well, of course, like Jordan Davis is going to be like the number one nose tackle, but Devin Lloyd is still kind of regarded as the number one linebacker, and for what we can do, from what we can ask of him, he can do things in coverage, things in pass rush, things in the ability to stop the run, and really not have to garner extra attention on the defensive line. So given that chance, that's what I would go there. And then you said, didn't you give us like another scenario for like the second rounds too?
No, I didn't give no scenario. I was just first round, first pick. That was.
Well,
And
yeah, so
there's a
that's
lot
my
I've been hearing
logic
lately
on that.
about Sauce Gardner and maybe even Kyle Hamilton, and then I've heard Thibodeau, which I'm not really a big fan of drafting Thibodeau at 8. Maybe if we trade it back, but
yeah, I guess that would have been my last question. It's like, well, who are you going to take off the board for me? I'm also kind of likely saying that Thibodeau and Hamilton and those guys, they were already off the board, so I really couldn't go them.
yeah, I'm thinking my thinking is if we Kyle Hamilton would have been my first choice, but I don't think he'd be available.
Same here.
Yeah, like I don't think he'll be available at that point. So I think trading back would probably be ideal.
And I still think you can do that with Devin Lloyd, especially.
Right.
Yeah.
And I see LS say about Nakobe Dean. The reason why you don't really hear like outside of the state of Georgia, the reason why you don't really hear a lot of Nakobe Dean like that, because essentially you will be drafting the same guy that most people in Atlanta want to get rid of, and I'm just talking about based on size alone. Mm-hmm. You have to remember, Nakobe Dean is literally Deion Jones. He's literally just going to be a younger Deion Jones, which in fact you're still going to need bigger bodies up front to protect him as well.
And plus, I don't know if the DPs run that like his defense is more geared for bigger linebackers, aren't it?
Yeah.
That's why he changed Foye's position.
That's not true. That's his defense is just built on speed. It's not so much because when you look at a guy like Daryl Smith, he wasn't necessarily a huge guy. He was a nice size. You go back and look at I forget the guy name in Tennessee, but those guys weren't necessarily like huge guys. Like they were decent size, but like his defense is more so predicated on speed and ability to tackle. That's why you have a guy like Deion Jones in his defense to begin with. And he put Deion on the outside, so it's predicated on speed.
Okay. Gotcha. So up front, we definitely need to have size up front. Then
you gotta have those size up front, like for any line, like for any defensive coordinator. It's not so much your linebackers have to be big. You mostly you will like that. Like Luke Kuechly wasn't a big linebacker. He wasn't really that big. Luke Kuechly, I think he was like 6 feet.
I think it was 235, wasn't it?
Like 235. He wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't that big of a guy. So it's not so much. It's muscle. It has everything to do with just how he plays as a linebacker rather than his size. Like you got guys that are that are 6'2", 6'3", and they play like they 5'10". You know what I'm saying? I mean, you look at Takk McKinley. He's a perfect example of that. Takk McKinley, Vic Beasley, those guys are bigger guys, but they play a lot smaller than what they actually are.
Mm-hmm. I got a question. We still have Marlon Davidson on this team, right?
Yeah, he's still on the roster
Yeah.
for
What
now,
is the
but
plan? What is the plan with his ass?
To play.
He's technically listed as Grady's backup.
I think he'll stick around. You got to have rotational guys, So I think Marlon Davis will be a good rotational guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you
He
still got
played
Anthony
edge in
Rush. They may
Auburn
bring
too, I
Anthony
believe.
Rush back.
Right. You still need to be at least 2 deep at every, especially all positions on defensive line. You still got to be 2 deep.
Yep.
So regardless if he might be a starter, he might not be a starter. You still need bodies.
Yep.
He can still play. But if you can find somebody that's better than him, it's just a plus.
And like I say, you still got Anthony Rush and Pennell too that they probably go look at bringing back since they're not so expensive.
Mm-hmm. Because I think Pennell might be a free agent. I think Anthony Rush is still on the roster. I don't know if Pennell is. I gotta make sure about that.
I think they're both free agents.
Both free agents this year.
Okay, they're both free agents. So they might end up bringing one of them back.
Yeah. So if you bring Jordan Davis, do you really need Anthony Rush?
You still need somebody to back. You need a backup. It just can't be Jordan Davis being the only nose tackle. You still need a backup. You need a backup that's of equal size.
Yeah, you can never have too many nose tackles.
Right.
Yeah, because we can be put in a situation where we would have like Jordan Davis or Anthony Rush on the field, and then an offense can go no huddle and try to just wear them out with the stamina.
Right.
So if we can try to quickly sub someone else in that can still have the same performance level,
right?
That'd be ideal.
Right. And then
that's a good point, Noah. Great point.
That point. Then you also have to look at the point where if it's on those running downs like that, if it's like a 3rd and 1, and you can absolutely put both of those guys in to kind of be the staples to try to stop the run, especially on the goal line. Yeah.
So I didn't think about that because they did put Mike Pennell and Anthony Rush in at the same time versus the Saints game, and that basically changed the Saints' whole running game. It forced them to go to the outside.
Right. So that's why I said you gotta have bodies, regardless if they're good or not, or they're great. You just gotta make sure your starters can live up to the expectations of what they placed on the team. The backups, you want them to understand the system. They don't necessarily have to be the greatest. We would love them to be great.
Damn, I'm thinking about it right now. Ogundeji, Grady Jarrett, Jordan Davis, and Mike Pennell right beside him. Damn.
Right.
And it also helps with load management because you want to keep your stars as fresh as possible during a 17-game season, and assuming we win the division, which I believe we will, LOL, for the playoffs too. So you gotta.
Right.
That's a great point.
Because you see what happened with Grady Jarrett once he started getting all them double teams and triple teams, and he had to work extra hard. And you see when he ain't on the field, the defense completely looks all ass. Yeah.
Shoot, we seen that in 2018 when he got injured.
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
talking about straight cheeks.
First game of the season too against a team, the Philadelphia. They had a good trenches.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So you gotta have backups at all those spots right there. That's why we say the trenches are important. I don't give a damn about trying to have the greatest secondary.
Right. And then we also seen how the defense looks for all the people that want Deion Jones traded. You seen that 2018 season how it looked without him. We had Duke Riley in coverage. Y'all don't want to see that again.
Oh, that was terrible.
Oh yeah, that whole defense was a mess that year.
Right.
But my question is, why do people want
we
to
didn't have Keanu Neal nor Deion.
Yeah, it was basically a wasted Matt Ryan MVP season, really.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Don't remind me of that year because we literally lost 3 games on dropped interceptions. on interception that could have been had and literally got scored on like the next 2 plays on 3 separate games.
And
I believe
Robert
that.
Alford got spun out by Drew Brees.
Oh God! Well,
And
Drew
then the
Brees.
same thing happened this year when in the Washington game when Eric Harris dropped, I believe, 2 picks.
He
One
dropped
of them was
3
in
and another one in Dallas. Yes.
And
that
Harmon
pissed
did
me
the
off.
same.
And yeah, because then later on in the game, Tyler, Weiler, Heineke sitting there running around in circles, just doing whatever the hell he wanted to do, just to still get a pass completion. That pissed me off.
Yes. That man
That
was throwing
pissed me
mid the whole game and still beat us.
But
Dak Prescott threw a Stevie to Eric Harris and he dropped it.
don't forget Dak Prescott threw that Jesus ball that ended up in the end zone. Don't forget
Oh
about that.
my God.
That got that whole game started when we got whooped because I was like, man, these plays, we can't let these kind of plays ride.
But did you notice on those plays how many seconds did the quarterback have to throw the football?
Oh, yeah.
It was to the point where you didn't have to measure it in seconds; you can measure it in minutes.
Wow.
Now, by the time Tom Brady passed the ball in that second game, it was already New Year's.
I mean, we really I don't think we really talk enough about like we don't give some people don't give Arthur Smith enough credit. Like they really got 7 wins. And I mean if we think about it, we left 4 dubs on the table. The first Carolina game, Matt Ryan bleeding out his hand and he had a terrible game. We only lost by 6 that game. The Washington game, I can add 3 more games. You could probably say the
first
first
Tampa
bus,
game.
right? The first Tampa game, the 49ers game, and the Bills game. We got screwed over.
Hell, even the second Tampa game, like that, like after that pick 6 by Marlon Davidson, I was like, oh Lord, like we
And
really
ain't no telling how that Dallas game goes if Eric Harris catches that pick. Like, bruh, like
if we could have stopped the run in that New England game, there like that.
Oh yeah.
I actually think we did
frustrates
pretty
me
good in
more.
that game though. That team had 3 guys, big time running backs, Stevenson and Harris and what was the other guy name? They had 3 guys rotating running that ball, and I thought we did pretty good in that game against the Patriots.
We had receivers running to each other on routes, bro.
Yeah, hospital route.
That's all offense though. The defense I thought held up pretty good in that game.
AJ Terrell got a pick that game. Yeah.
That pick was
would have
nice.
actually had a better game, we would have had a chance to win that game.
And that's why I say,
Cador,
bro,
Patterson was also hurt that game too.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very frustrating to see Macaroni Jones win games when he doesn't do anything. Like that game when they played the Bills, he threw the ball 3 times and they still won. Like that's just frustrating to me. Like to be on the receiving end of that. Now if we win, like if we're like 11-6 this season and like Matt Ryan has like a career low in by far in pass attempts, then that's cool because it's because we're winning by that. We're not losing because Mac Jones or Taylor Heineke or Jimmy Garoppolo is throwing 3 passes and then it oh my gosh, it is frustrating to see that.
Yeah, Mac
you know
Jones
what?
threw
You
3
made a great
passes
point.
and still had a 66 completion percentage.
And Bobby Boy's on 3 here made a good point too. Remember, we had that stretch where we was giving up damn kick returns after halftime.
Oh
my god, yeah.
Hey,
That happened in the
Styles, how many
Washington game, I
pass
think.
attempts did Mac Jones have that game? Can you look that up?
How many what?
How many in the Patriots game when we played them in Atlanta on Thursday? How many pass attempts did Mac Jones have?
I'd guess in between 20 and 25.
Let's see. 26. He was 22 for 26 for 207 yards.
That was one off.
Damn.
His short and mid passing looks so suspect to me. It's like he throws a deflated football. Like his passes look deflated.
Well, that's just proof right there. If you build the right way, your
Yeah,
quarterback ain't got to be a top quarterback.
And that's
Right.
why I say, man, if this coaching staff got that out of this roster, imagine what happens when they add more talent. Like, I don't care what nobody says, bro. Like, this was an improvement.
All I'm gonna say is if Ridley catches one pass, if he catches that one pass that he fell on, we win the Washington game. And if he's even halfway there in the Carolina game, we win. That was a weird game because we're thinking
Right.
he's gonna be there. Then we find out he's not an hour before the game, and then we find out he was at warm-ups, and
That
then
was
after
the
it looked
Carolina
like
game, wasn't it?
yeah, that was
Mm-hmm.
the Halloween game,
Yeah.
and I
Hey,
think
That
that's
Mike,
game
you
was
still
second.
got that picture of how them receivers were pressing in the 49ers game? Do you still got that picture?
All I know now, I don't think we got the picture. Just I say if you want a perfect example, go and make you a ham sandwich and press the damn bread down. That's exactly how they were.
It was no spacing whatsoever, bro.
Mm-mm-mm. And it's like you look and because normally when you look at the broadcast angle, like you won't really be able to see every defender. It was so bad that they loaded up the box, so you could see nothing but open space past like 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. That's how stacked the box was with defenders. It was embarrassing, like because they
Right.
knew that they could have had the ball boy on one of the receivers, and they still wouldn't get separation.
Dude, they literally played 9 in the box. Not because they feared the running game, it's because they didn't have no respect for the receivers to get open.
Mm-mm.
Man, you could have said that their coverage type was called hydraulic press.
Well, hydraulic press, boy, you press that motherfucker. Oh, that shit going. You ain't going nowhere.
They played the car wash press, and it was like
They played our grid splits defense, man. That was unfair.
Right. What they say they played that Madden zero, that fire zero blitz defense.
That engage 8 and blitz the safety as
well. Like that double safety blitz.
Exactly.
Y'all getting in my territory now.
Yo, territory.
I remember one time, I forgot what game it was, but we could not get a pass rush. And so we were sending blitzes the entire game to try to get pass rush. And it reminded me of that scene Remember the Titans when the coach was like, do not let them pass the line of scrimmage. Exactly. It was so bad. I was like,
it might have been the first game against Philly.
Actually, I think
Dean
it
P
was.
talking about it.
It might have been that game.
So I think in the press conference, he's like, well, did you see how much we tried to blitz and it didn't work?
Shit, that's what happened.
Frustrating. That's ridiculous, man. I keep saying that all the time. Even with blitz, we cannot get to the quarterback.
D-Lab just be trolling. D-Lab be asking the dumbest questions.
Man, he bumped heads one time with old DMPs, didn't he?
Nah, they don't like D-Led. They really don't like him at all. They see him, they just already like in their mind, they just like, dude, just shut the fuck up. We don't care what you gotta say. I'm still laughing at this picture. But still got Calvin Ridley thong on here. That shit is hilarious to me. But yeah, man. Go ahead, Yeezy. What was you about to say?
I was about to say like, goddamn.
Is this going to be consistent all the way around, or is this going to be for one or the other?
What you mean?
You see somebody else then called your ass out on some saying some different shit.
Nah.
What did he say?
But,
I don't know, but we'll talk about that offline. But
yeah.
But Yeah, yeah. At the end of the day, defense that's got to be the vocal point for this team, man.
Yeah.
It's got to
I
be the
think that's
vocal point.
I think that's what we're gonna do a lot of this draft and free agency. We probably gonna bring back some of the guys. I can see us bringing back maybe Hayden Hurst. Maybe Russell Gage.
Yeah, what's up,
This
Gage is
might
coming back.
it might just be me, but do you guys find it funny that a lot of the teams that be like, oh, we don't need trench play, we just throw the ball, or we got lockdown corners? Those be the main teams that have some of the best defensive lines. It's almost like they tell you not to get those so that in the draft they fall and then they go, oh, look at our defensive line. We can stop the run. We can do that. Oh my gosh. But don't get them though. Don't get them though, because that they're obsolete. Linemen are obsolete. You need corners and safeties that can run a 3-4 40 like that.
Those are actually the tricky and
3,
smart.
4, 40. Jeez, I'll take that.
I mean, don't get me, that was a bad example because I'm like, wait a minute, I'll take that. Like, if Kyle Hamilton runs the 3-4, it's like, wait, what?
Wait a minute, 3-4. So you mean his split was 0.7 seconds? What the fuck?
I'm listening.
Nah, that don't mean
Like
nothing.
he has an
Exactly.
8-inch vert.
Cornerback.
Like,
But say cornerback is more than just speed. I played that position. That's a tough position. You got to be able to use your feet. You got to be able to rotate your hips and everything. It's not just straight line speed.
Yeah, no.
Gotta get a good
and
feel
it's
for
the
your hands
biggest
too.
corners though. Like it'd be the biggest corners though, like the big ones. That be holding. Like I don't understand it. It's like you so big. Why are you holding? Like you see Jalen Ramsey holding. I'm like, don't be lazy. Come on.
They're not quick enough. Like you said, even though you're taller, you have to remember your steps are a lot wider than the receivers that you guard.
Let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Robert Halford, he was speedy, right? He was fast. But why in the hell he was grabbing people like that? Robert Halford is fast. He was the faster.
Look, just because you fast don't mean you're great. Speed don't mean a goddamn thing. That's why when we always say about these 40 times, man, when we start looking at these 40 times, we need to stop looking at 40s and thinking this is what it is. You gotta look at these guys' technique and skill. Like I said, as of right now, the 40s look good, but when year 3 comes around, you better be technically sound. Like I said, Robert Alford was fast, but he didn't know how to rotate.
Yeah, but like let's say like the pocket just break down. It's backyard football, right? All you got to do is like
true at all. That's not true. Even the
no, because actually,
it's your reaction time. That's what we talk about, the short area quickness, and that's why the shuttle it's one of the better ones. The better, I guess,
the better drills to
follow, because
yeah.
like even
I got
if
another
you got before 2 speed, you still got to be able to react quick enough.
Right.
Okay.
Because that short, because you have to remember when you're playing football, you're cutting in all different directions more so than you going straight,
right?
In a straight damn line.
Yeah.
But go ahead,
Mike. It look like somebody coming for you in the comments there.
Trade back to 13 for Jordan Davis.
Trade back to 13 for Jordan Davis.
But let me ask you
LS said I'm more athletic than Devin Lloyd.
That ain't true. I was about to say, like, you're a corner, right? Or you're a DB, right? And you cover entire week here. What do you need best? Coverage skill or speed? Which one of those?
You have to have because for one thing, you have to, if you're a corner that is kind of a step slower, the first thing you're going to be looking at is how am I going to disrupt the timing? Because if you're a slower corner, the defense is going to be predicated on trying to hide your weaknesses. If I can't run step for step with this guy, I'm gonna hit the shit out of him on the line of scrimmage on the snap. Either I'm going to do that or I'm going to force his ass to the sideline. Like I said, speed sounds good, but that ain't what it's all about. You got to know how to change a direction is more. Change of direction and angles are more important than straight line speed.
That's true.
Now, when you're in the open field, that's where the straight line speed comes in at. But when you got bodies around you, that straight line speed don't mean a goddamn thing. Why the hell you think Olympic sprinters and runners don't go into the NFL?
I think the recovery part is where the speed comes in. Like if you get beat on a play, can you recover on that play to make the play? That's really what they're looking at when it comes to speed. But off the line of scrimmage, that's all technique, because those receivers, they're not just going to easily let you jam them at the line of scrimmage.
Exactly.
Yeah, Revis, he wasn't the fastest guy, but because he never got beat, he never had to use recovery speed.
And and I'm glad you said that too. But before we get there, we got Davis Willis with the $4.99 super chat. He said his mock draft is Ajabo, Breece Hall, David Bell, Travis Jones, Alec Lindstrom. Your take.
I'm so not really Ajabo at 8.
I'm not really high on Ajabo, taking Ajabo at 8.
I don't like Ajabo at 8. It's just something off about, like, I think people try too hard to try to show his value. It's like he's just started at 15 but just give him a couple years. And I'm like, I don't really have a couple years. I'm sorry, I don't.
Let me ask y'all a question. When do y'all remember the last time that we drafted a defensive end that only played 1 year at defensive end? Do y'all remember that?
You say what?
Was it Edwards?
Pat McKinley? Jamal Anderson?
Jamal Anderson. Remember, Jamal Anderson had the breakout year. That was his first year playing defensive end, and the Falcons drafted him 7th overall, and look what the hell happened. Now, that's shell-shocked right there. Going from that comment earlier, that's shell-shocked.
Whoever we go get at 8, they got to be somebody that's going to have to come in and start.
They got to come in and start. They have to have some sense of a complete game.
Hold on.
Yeah.
This number 8 in the draft is an unlucky number, bro. We drafted Jamal Anderson 8 overall pick. Vic Beasley got drafted at number 8. We need to trade or something, man.
I never thought about that.
You never thought about that?
I never thought about
it. But I mean, the rest of it,
whoever's next. I mean, whoever they're gonna pick in this year's draft is next. It's time to prove us wrong.
I'm looking at the rest of his mock draft. He's got Breece Hall with the 2nd pick. I don't know if I would prioritize running back that high. I would probably say that Breece Hall might be my favorite running back in this draft class. But with my research, I can get other guys for you that I also really like in the much later rounds. And they're not going to have that expectations and trying to be like that number 1 guy. With David Bell with the 3rd pick, I'm assuming like this is like pick 58 for him, even though you mentioned that.
Yeah, I think he forgot that other 2nd round pick as well.
Possibly. I mean, this kind of makes up for it though, is if you get like Travis Jones in the 3rd round, that's also a steal.
But I doubt that's gonna happen. But we'll see.
If it does, man.
If it does, boy, we'd be like, oh shit, that'd
be like the equivalent of what happened last year with Alex Leatherwood going to the Raiders in the 1st round, but then they take Drayvon Nurek. It was like, yeah, you can just switch those around, and that'd be better.
Right. And then, like I said, David Bell, Breece Hall, Alec Lindstrom.
Is he a 5th rounder? You think Lindstrom?
It depends on the team's need. I know they said they got him like around 4th and 5th round. It's like 4th and 5th round. It just depends. But like I said, Breece Hall might go in the 1st round. We don't know. That's what I said. It's going to be based on the teams. But these are like Ajabo, I'm not really like I said, he looks good as an athletic freak. He looks good. But I don't know, it's something about his game I'm kind of worried about.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's like everybody that's in the draft is some sort of freak athlete. Like you saw all those crazy
Exactly.
fast receiver times, but couldn't like half of them probably couldn't even catch a ball to save their life. So it's like, and then when you look at the film, it's like, okay, how much is this? Oh my gosh, it's David Ojabo. And how much of it is like, oh, it's Aiden Hutchinson and David Ojabo, but he's good though. Like, how much is it really that?
Right. Yeah, like I said, you also have to look at he got Aiden Hutchinson on the other side. So are you really seeing the best of him, or is he being that guy because he's got the essential number one overall pick on the other side? This is the same thing we said about Jeff Okudah. When he came out, everybody said that he was the next shutdown corner. He was the next like legendary corner to come out the draft with the 4th overall pick. But we damn forgot that he had motherfucking Chase Young on that defensive line wrecking havoc.
In the Big Ten, I don't know too many big time receivers.
Big Ten usually don't put out no good receivers like that.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna say they
team.
don't, but they
Physical teams,
do. Right.
A lot of running and stuff like that. So
right.
But that's what makes the players on Georgia's defense, the one that in the draft this year, so interesting, because it's like you could look at both the film and the way they tested the combine, and it's like, okay, it wasn't just one person benefiting from everybody else. These people individually are stud. So like that's like, I mean, that's arguably the greatest defense that we've seen in years, and it's because they each had their own individual talents and happened to mesh well, more so than Jordan Davis is carrying the whole defense and everybody else just looks pretty. Like, no, they're
a unit.
Right. They're a
unit. Everybody feeds off each other. And
right.
I want to hit Jude. Appreciate David Willis for the $4.99. That Jude here said, Ojabo has raw talent, but he scares me in the run game, and that's the issue that we're going to be looking at. Is he's a good pass rusher, but as far as in the run game,
they're gonna get taken advantage of.
He gonna get his ass tossed around.
Yeah, because people don't talk about this, but our pass game was like, even without a pass rush, our pass game was still better than our run game. Like, we had a middle of the pack pass defense, but our run defense was bottom 5
dwellers. Yeah,
right. So you can have it was like, yeah, we need pass rush. I'm like, but who's gonna stop these running backs? Like, who's gonna stuff the run so that way your pass rush can be more effective on the 3rd and 8 or a 3rd and 9? Like, you can't have a pass rush and then it's like you're trying to build a roof before the rest of the house. Like, it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, you also got to think about it too. When Tyler Davidson was in the middle of that defense, the offense ran at him. When they took Tyler Davidson off, they ran outside.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a rare occurrence. You actually say his full name, KStylzz. I'm surprised.
We're out 96, ain't it?
Oh, my bad. Stevie B's. God damn it. Hey, forgive me. I have sinned in front of my brothers over here. So Stevie B's pizza.
He should be a free agent now, shouldn't he? Or is he still under contract?
Still under contract.
Okay. So this is got to release.
So like they're still looking at possible moves. Like I said, you still got the Kendall Sheffield contract that can help you. If cutting him can help. You got
he will be.
He's going, like I said, like, we can't be keeping guys that can't stay on the damn field, bro. Oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
But if you had to choose between Tyler Davidson and Kendall Sheffield, which one would you choose?
Neither.
Bring back Paul Warlow, we'll be good. But like I said, if it was between those two, like I said, even though Stevie B's ain't worth a damn, at least I know he'll be on the field.
Yeah, the best availability, right?
Right. Exactly. But if I had the obvious choice, I'm going down to Home Depot and I'm going to be recruiting players. Like, hey, I got some money for you. Hey, I need you to play a couple positions here. I'd rather do that.
Get yourself a UFC heavyweight or somebody.
Exactly. Exactly. But
There's
let's go ahead and wind it down for the night. Damn, it's 10:30. You know how we do when we start talking, boy. It don't never end. We definitely appreciate everybody tuning in. We definitely appreciate everybody that's on the screen here. So, like I said, y'all make sure y'all continue to support Six Man KStylzz, Mad Mike Sports, Atlanta Falcon Nation, everybody, the whole team. So go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and start with Calvin Ridley Thong. If you want to give us your your final thoughts.
Man, I just want to say that
Hold on, speak up.
Speak up. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
No, go ahead. Good.
Can you hear me now?
No.
No, you gotta speak up a little louder. Kind of low.
Is this better?
Yeah.
I was gonna say that prayers up to Big E, man. I got the unfortunate news from Mike that he broke his neck after falling from a botched suplex. So prayers up to Big E, man, for all the wrestling fans out there. Cause Lord knows, every time I see Brock Lesnar do a German suplex, I just pray that the other wrestler don't fall in his leg. It's like it's so close.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, that's unfortunate. I haven't even seen the video yet, Mike. But yeah, that's all I gotta say, bro.
No. When it come to broke necks, I'm not trying to look at that shit. I still cringe. I still cringe hearing about that draws incident with D'Lo Brown. That shit cringes the fuck out of me.
I've seen the video. It's crazy. Yeah, it's wild.
I saw that. I like, I can't look at that. But yeah, big prayers up to Big E. Hey man, that lets you know, boy, wrestling is scripted, but it ain't fake. I'm just gonna just let you know there. It ain't fake. It's just scripted.
Mm-hmm.
That should be on a T-shirt somewhere. I'm just saying. So that's all. That's all you got, ATM. That's all you got.
Yeah, let's go to
Trey. All right, Trey. What's going on, man? Got something you want to tell the people?
Just to end it off, I'm glad we did that little restructure with Matt. Glad to be on here with y'all, and like y'all said, prayers up to Big E because he used to be one of my favorite wrestlers a couple years ago. Hate to hear that.
Okay. All right, Jerry Bowie. Go ahead, Jerry. Go on, give what you thought.
Yeah, so I was really excited to see what's going to happen over the next week with the team. We may make some moves, we may not, don't know. But it's always fun to kind of see the news on what the team is moving forward to. So I'll be looking forward to seeing what you guys put out and looking at more videos that y'all bring out throughout the weeks.
All right, we definitely appreciate that, man. Go ahead, Malik. What you got for him?
Man, prayers up to Big E. Like, those German suplexes ain't nothing to mess around with. But I don't know about y'all, but I'm about to be acting a whole damn fool the next few days after that Matt Ryan restructure. So I'll be acting a whole fool. But yeah, like y'all be safe out there, and thanks for having me on the show again.
Oh yes, man, sir. Definitely no problem. All right, Yeezy, man, go ahead, give your final thought.
Yeah, like I said, man, this Calvin Ridley situation, they're gonna talk about it till Calvin Ridley is released from the team. So we got to deal with it. We got to get used to it. That's all I got to say, man. Don't even get triggered.
I ain't gotta do shit.
Hey man,
The
hey
hell with
man,
Calvin Ridley.
we got still. We worry about the 53, well, the 60 guys that's on this roster, man. That's all we can worry about. Go ahead, Noah, man. What we got for the people?
Yeah, when it comes to like doing some more extra penny pinching, there's two more players that I'm on the fence about as far as like what their contract situation is. I kind of pointed it out earlier during the show. It's like it's weird how if you were to give like a free agent like $6 million this year, they'd be top 10 and highest paid players on our team.
Right. Damn.
But so because of that, we have a lot of people that are kind of in like the $1 million to $2 million range, and two of those people that kind of make me curious is John Kaminsky and Keith Smith. Now I know how important Keith Smith is to our running game, but he's 30. He's approaching 31. You know, and I do like some other fullbacks that I've seen in this draft class that we can probably find in UDFAs for a lot cheaper than that. If we really have to like get down and dirty when it comes to the money situation, I don't really think we have to anymore, because the more I try to learn about the cap, the less I feel it exists. But yeah, if it gets down to having to cut
I'm gonna
them,
stop you before you get there. You're not gonna slide by that. The cap is very real.
well,
Go ahead.
I get that.
Go ahead.
It feels like a speed limit sign, you know? It's like it kind of feels more like a
It's still
suggestion.
there.
But yeah,
It's still there. It's a speed limit, but it's still there. It's not a stop sign or a dead end. Or we can say dead end. It's more like it's more like a stop sign versus a dead end. If that makes sense to you guys.
Right.
It's not the
Maybe
end all be all. You know what I mean? Like it's not the end all be all. You can move things around it based on how you structure things, how you structure contracts. It's you just have to, like I said, you just got to be careful, not go down any back roads and end up at a dead end. And the dead ends is in the Falcons case is signing guys like Tyler Davidson to contracts. You know what I'm saying? James Carpenter, Jamon Brown. Those are the dead ends that we end up, bringing to this team. And I think that's, like I said, that the cap. Like I said, you're not all the way wrong. Like I said, it's just based on how you structure things. You got to be careful how you structure, and we weren't careful how we structure things, and this is exactly where we at.
Mm-hmm.
that's about it for me. We did have like one last super chat though.
Oh yeah! Shout out to officially Gambred Monk with the $2 super chat. He said, "Cut Means and Tyler Davidson."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I
Well,
think
Means is already
Steve's
a
a
free
free
agent.
agent. Yeah, Means a free agent.
I
Tyler
just hope he
Davidson.
don't bring him back.
And Stevie B's, he might most likely get cut. I think he probably will.
I hope he take a pay cut, then get cut.
I hope he takes 2 weeks off, then quit.
Say hit the parade Jerry on their ass. Oh man. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go next with mine. Like I say, definitely appreciate everybody. As we look at the cap details, especially with this Matt Ryan thing. So yes, his dead cap number has gone up to $55 million this year. But next year it went from 43 million to 27 million next year. So that's basically, like we said, essentially you have lessened the blow of the future.
Can you repeat that one more time? How many million? You broke up.
Hold on. No, I was saying this year's dead cap hit for Matt Ryan is gonna be 55 million.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
The next year it drops to what?
27.6 million.
Okay.
Before the restructure, his next year was going to be about 44 million.
Right.
So, like you said, this is just one of those things where we're gonna have a lot of sad people in here in Atlanta to know that he's not going nowhere. That you got content creators like, well, they made a poor decision in doing it like this.
People going to switch teams too. That's a good thing.
Yeah. But essentially what they did was they put all the money into this year so it softens the blow for next season.
Oh, since you hit that, I'm gonna just go ahead and add a little bit to that. So basically what that means, literally Matt Ryan is the only one who's signed at 23. He's literally the only guy signed at 23. We got to make a decision on what we're going to do with Grady, Dion, Foyer, Jake Matthews. Are we going to resign? Are we going to what's going to happen with Caleb McGeary? What's going to happen with Chris Lindstrom? At that point, it becomes like I said, it's really just Matt Ryan who signed to that. So what they want, essentially what they're doing is rebuilding resetting the salary cap. So everything starts in 23. It's almost essentially starting over without actually having to take too much of a hit with the dead cap, and that's the issue, the dead cap. So it doesn't necessarily mean at this point, if you look at things at face value, that it literally means that nobody will be on that roster in 2023. So I fully expect to see some extensions. I fully expect to see guys not come back that are familiar. But at this point in time, I think I need to see Debo. But at this point in time, Matt Ryan is the only one assigned to that 2023 roster. And I'm looking at it now.
Not even Kyle Pitts?
No, we're talking about that's Kyle Pitts. We're talking about past. That's it. We're talking about what's on the roster now, what's signed on the roster now. Kyle Pitts, the rookies, of course, is the rookies. But we're talking about a sign past 2023. Matt Ryan is the only one.
Got to make a decision on Isaiah Oliver too.
Yeah, 2023 Debo. Yeah.
Right.
Matt Ryan, Debo. Matt Ryan contract. Obviously, that is, yeah. Yep. 2023. Grady Jarrett's contract for the most part from the Dan Quinn era. Grady Jarrett, let's see. I think he's the only, Grady Jarrett, he is in a part of 2023. So it's a lot of guys that aren't in that past regime that isn't a part of that 2023. It's Debo, Matt Ryan. I need to see Jake Matthews real quick. So most of those guys that were Dan Quinn guys, yeah, Jake Matthews is the only one in 2023. So most of the guys from that Dan Quinn era, they gone. It's Matt Ryan, Debo, Jake Matthews, Grady Jarrett. You got to make a decision on Grady Jarrett. And this is why a guy like Jordan Davis is going to be, you could, that even strengthens the idea of taking a Jordan Davis at that point, because right now, as it stands, Grady Jarrett won't be a part of 23. He's not assigned 23. So this is his last year. But like I said before, like this draft is everything. This draft, this offseason is everything. This is where the fun really begins. And they don't want to, like I said, outside of that, this team is going to have, a number of free agents. This is it. We talk about rebuild. This is what happens. But we just did it a different way.
We in basically sandbox mode now.
Huh?
We in basically sandbox mode.
Yeah. It's a lot of the key guys. That's why I said do not be surprised if the Falcons pass on Foyer, because they don't want to put too much money in 23. It's either this year you show off or you're not going to be a part of the team going forward. They have to, and like I said, it's nothing against Foyer, but he's 26. He's not their guy. And I think that's the most important thing we got to keep in mind. Grady Jarrett is not their guy. He's not a Dean Pease guy. As much as we love Grady Jarrett, there's no guarantee that he'll be there. I think he will. I can bet money. If I were to bet, man, I would bet that Grady Jarrett. But
don't give Ridley more ideas.
Exactly. Don't. I'm about to say that's about 1,500 right there. But you gonna put 1,500 on that?
1,500.
No, prove it says that bet means stays.
30,000.
Hey, I'm just going off of what Calvin really said. He said, I only bet 1,500, so we're going to use that as the standard.
Every time he tweeted was a gamble.
Exactly. Next thing you know, you're going to find out he bet about $500,000 on some other shit.
So, yeah, like I said, it's essentially starting over. I don't want to say starting over. It's really just resetting the cap. The Falcons are doing right now is resetting the cap. They're going to do things the proper way, see who's going to play the hardest this year. They're going to have to pay it, whether it's Grady Jarrett, Dion, Jake Matthews. All those guys are going to have to prove this year that they want that next contract. This is what it's all about, resetting the contract. And now Terry and Arthur can have some fun. This is where you have the fun. We talk about we turn on Madden, we get rid of everybody in that first year. You got all the money after that first year. You end up releasing everybody. You start over. You got $150 million in salary cap. This is where the Falcons can have fun. 2023 is where they can have fun. Not that they can't contend this year, but 2023 is what the Falcons can really have fun. And based on what happens this year and this draft and this season, this is how they're going to attack 2023 in the draft as well as free agency. So
what you're essentially saying is basically everybody's going to have a prove it to me mindset this upcoming season.
Yep. You got to play for you playing for your contract this year. You playing for the next contract.
They've already instilled that mindset on the first year that they've walked in the building.
Absolutely.
This is the reason why Ricardo Allen didn't want to re-sign with the Falcons. This is why Julio Jones didn't want to be here. This is one of the reasons why maybe Calvin really didn't want to be here.
Oh no, I got to be held accountable for what I say and do? Oh geez, I don't like that.
I can't sit on the sideline and listen to Migos. I gotta actually practice. Oh no, I'm good. But until next time, people, as we always say, man, we ain't here to play. We're here to stay. You ain't got to go home. Come
Damn,
on.
ain't nobody want to say nothing.
Ain't nobody gonna say it.
But you
Shit,
got to
one-
get
one-
the hell up out of
one or
here.
something.
Hey, I'm waiting on y'all. I'm like,
You got to get the hell up out of here.
all
Don't
right,
get.
get on out of here, boy.
Get out.
All right, y'all. Till next time. Deuces.
Deuces.